very first episode of Game Engine. Thank you, everyone who let Geek and Sundry know how much you enjoyed the pilot. Katie wishes she could be a part of the show, but unfortunately she's a busy gal. But she sends her love. You remember my guest host probably from when she discussed her role in Oxenfree on Back to School, from many other video games, and from her own stream. Please welcome Brittany Johnson.
Hi!
Yay! How's it going, Brittany?
Good. I'm so happy I was invited to be a part of this. Yeah.
I'm super glad that you are here on this very first episode, which you apparently did not know was going to be the very first episode.
No. I didn't know this was like the official first one. So,
Well, it is, and it's very special, and I'm very glad you could be here.
Thank you.
What you been up to? What you been playing?
Oh my goodness. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go. I'm not even ashamed. Just taking over my life right now.
Why would you be ashamed about that?
You know what? I'm not even ashamed. It's just I take my dog on extra long walks. In fact, that's my code word for me and my roommates. Let's take our dogs on walks.
Right.
Yeah, and so I'm like halfway through dragging her, and
this was the 6th one today.
I know, my dog's like, no more walks, please. I'm like, get outside.
Well, that is actually the perfect transition into our very first news story. Of course, the hot topic of the hour is Pokemon Go.
Of course it is.
So it's been fascinating hearing traditional media talk about it. I think it scares them a little bit.
It does. I was on KTLA the other day talking about it. They asked me to come on and answer some questions because the anchor didn't know what he was doing. He's like, the server's messing up. I can't figure out how to turn the app on. And I'm like, that happens. But it's a phenomenon. It's amazing.
Absolutely. It's crazy hearing it talked about in the mainstream media. On NPR, they are constantly talking to correspondents and the anchors.
NPR?
NPR. One of the anchors, he asked, does Pokemon Go signal the end of times? And he was joking, but I could hear the fear in his voice.
He really wasn't joking.
I don't think like he was in his heart of hearts. I think it kind of throws into sharp relief that a lot of traditional media isn't in touch with the youth.
Okay, that is true. I think it is making a lot of people really nervous. However, I've also seen the majority of the people out playing it are adults.
No, and that's the thing. That's the weird part is that people, I think, people ages 8 to 35 are like super into it. But again, NPR skews a little older in demographic, I think.
Like a little beyond the Pokemon generation.
Yeah,
so.
But you were mentioning the servers were down. That is one problem. Even though it is a cultural phenomenon and it is a lot of fun, it is still a terrible, broken app.
Oh my gosh. I today was so frustrated. This morning, I decided to, take my dog on a walk, and and I came across some kids. I'm trying to catch a Pokemon, of course, and you throw the Pokemon ball, you catch it, it rolls back to you, and it freezes, and it happens almost every single time. And somehow I still play, but I'm so frustrated with the game right now. Like, when do these bugs get fixed?
That's another thing is that I don't think that they have the infrastructure to deal with all of it. I've heard that they're only hiring one community manager. And I mean, they know that they launched just before San Diego Comic-Con, right?
Right. It's only, a week old here?
Yeah.
At least? Yeah.
Comic-Con is going to be insane. I don't know how they're going to handle all of those people doing it simultaneously.
Oh, no.
But it looks like everybody else has their stories of Pokemon. Yeah.
Wait, if you tap the Pokeball when you miss, it returns it to your inventory?
That's a rumor that I've heard. I've not confirmed it, and I haven't gotten any sort of external confirmation of that. If you can link us to an article of that, let us know, and maybe we can confirm that one, because that would change everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, there's lots to be said. There's so many think pieces about how it's getting people to go outside. It's helping with depression. It's.
I love reading this stuff about. Yeah, I've been reading a lot about how it's been helping with mental health. It totally makes sense. The anxiety, the depression, getting you out of the house, meeting people. I've met so many cool neighbors that I didn't know existed, and came across so many like neighborhood little gems, wall murals and everything. I think it's such a gem of an app. It's just really cool.
So, Brittany, what team are you on?
Team Mystic.
Why, Brittany? I thought we were friends.
Wait, what are you?
I'm Team Instinct.
Oh my gosh. I don't understand. I thought Instinct was like Hufflepuff.
Why all these stereotypes?
I know, but I don't even know what's driving these stereotypes. So
I don't know. It's so funny, though. I think the internet has decided that certain teams belong to, or things. They said that a Team Valor are just like a bunch of jerks, and I don't understand.
Which one's red? Which one's
Team
red?
Valor.
They have all of the gyms in my neighborhood.
Yeah. Mine is. I feel like Team Instinct is definitely the underdog in all of this.
Really?
Yeah.
That's yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow. Got it. No, Team Valor is definitely dominating.
This show is over.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels so very arbitrary, and in the end, I think people are just tending to pick what their friends or significant others are.
Yeah. I kind of went with what most people on my social media were going with. I also like the name Blanche. So when it was like, hi, I'm Blanche, join my team. I was like, yeah, Blanche, I'm on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Golden Girls fan then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Somebody in the chat says, I can speak for the anxiety part. It's incredible. I'm no longer sequestered in my room. I feel an attack coming. I have a reason to go out and just shut that part of my brain off for a while. That is so lovely. And also, I think the photo has been making the rounds of the sign on the dog, the dog shelter, where they said, oh my gosh, have you not heard of this? Oh, this is so great. There's a dog shelter that says, are you trying to hatch an egg or catch a rare Pokemon? Then why don't you take one of our shelter dogs on a walk? Just come to the front and ask for one of the Pokemon dogs.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Isn't that the sweetest thing?
I would take a dog on a walk and, oh my gosh, I would volunteer every day. Be like, what dog wants to go hunt Pokemon? Let's do it.
Yeah. So, and then I've heard NPR said that there's more just Android users alone playing Pokemon than there are people who use Twitter on their phones.
Oh yes, it's bypassed.
Oh, we dance. Now we dance. That's one thing that we kept for this show, everybody. We're dancing.
My chair is squeaky.
Thank you for subscribing, Voodoo Master Maximilian. That name is a mouthful. Yeah. I mean, just everybody has something to say about Pokemon, and it's been fascinating seeing just groups of wild adults roaming the streets with their phones out, bumping into each other and socializing.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I didn't grow up with Pokemon. I was still on that Final Fantasy train, RPG, doing that. So I'm still learning a lot. I'm still running around going like, look, it's the rhino. Look, it's it's the bird that's on fire. And everyone's like, oh, or it's a snake. They're like, it's Ecans. I'm like, whatever.
Well,
but
I would like you to nickname some of my Pokemon in that case.
Oh, nickname?
Yeah.
My nicknames are, if you look at it, it says, don't want none unless you got Buns Hun.
Which one's the Buns Pokemon?
The Buns? I think that one was not Voltron. Oh my gosh. It looks like what Pokemon would look like on steroids. Or Pikachu, sorry. Which I have not found a Pikachu yet.
Jolteon? Jolteon. Probably Jolteon.
Just don't mind me. I'm going to pull it up real quick. What's something I really would love to see this game have is, okay, so battles are a little beyond where I'm at right now. There's people out there who have just spent so much time on this app or this game that they have amazing Pokemon. And they're at such a high level. I'm too intimidated to even go to a gym. However, I would love to be able to battle some of my lower level Pokemons with my friends.
I imagine that they're going to implement a lot more mechanics because right now, as we said, it's a little bit broken and very limited, kind of a husk of an app. Oh, yeah.
Buns.
No, it says don't want none unless you got Psyduck buns, hun.
So I've had a new Pokemon since.
That's what it says, Brittany.
Psyduck buns. I wish we could take a photo and show this to you guys.
This is beautiful.
Unless you got Psyduck buns, hun.
But also, this is one fascinating thing about this in terms of gaming is that this is the first time we've seen AR really implemented in a game.
Right. Oh, yeah. This is where I can say, before everyone's like, ooh, VR or AR, which one's going to happen first? And before I would always say VR. Niantic's just blew everyone out of the water.
I would just like to go on record and say that I told you so. I said that VR is great and awesome in the future, but at the same time, it's being locked up in this little box so you can't play with friends and interact with the world around you. And I said that AR is where it's going to be at. And I was right.
You were incredibly right.
I was right. First time, what about Ingress? I mean, Ingress, sure, used AR, but not on the scale that this one has. And again, it's still kind of broken in a certain sense. A lot of times, if you use the AR screen, it'll freeze up. And like once you catch the Pokemon, it'll freeze or flip the screen, I've noticed.
I turn AR off unless I think it's going to be a funny photo.
Yeah.
But I played Ingress. I liked Ingress. I fell off the Ingress train pretty early, though. I kind of only had it for a week. And I guess I didn't have enough friends playing that I felt the social aspect of it, besides running around and checking in at the checkpoints. But, yeah, I mean, Pokemon Go is genius.
Yeah, it's definitely a phenomenon. And it's, the question is, though, is it here to stay?
So I was thinking about that, the longevity of the game, and they're really going to have to do some updates. I would have to say mini battles is going to have to be something because it's 1 week into it. There's already people with insane leveled Pokemons who have control of these gyms. New people coming on are going to feel so behind, and they're not going to be able to even I can see a gap. Which is going to stop people from wanting to download the game and get on this Pokemon Go train. So they're going to have to do some tweaking, I think. Right. Adding some lower level stuff. Maybe I would love to be able to trade. I would love to be able to mini battles. I think... Where's that community manager at? Where's that?
Right, that one community manager globally.
Yeah.
I agree. I think they need, in order for it to keep up the steam that it already has, it's going to need to implement more. It's going to need to implement more and better.
Right.
As you said, trading, even more social aspects along with friends, aspects of the game that are more gamified, like battling.
Right.
So,
right.
And I have there's no word on when any of the rollout on any of those things might be, unfortunately.
No.
I think they're content with where they are right at this moment.
Yeah, I think they're on cloud 9 with how well this game has done so far, just in the first week. And it's not even world. It's just U.S., Australia, and New Zealand right now.
I think it just rolled out in Germany just before we went live here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I think they're gonna just worry about getting it out first, making sure maybe the bugs are taken care of, and then they're gonna have to really focus on how do we keep people going on those long walks.
That's wise. That is wise.
Yeah.
Also, the implementation of Pokemon business ideas, I think, it'd be smart to cash in now. Things like if you're a small business or like a truck, you can, like a food truck, you can roll up to a place that's a Pokestop and set up a lure.
Yes. Well, I think they're already doing that. I think companies can pay them. This might be a rumor. It's probably a rumor. But I heard that companies, bars, restaurants can pay Niantic or whoever to to make their company a lure for 12 hours or something, and then
For 12 hours?
I heard, I could be wrong.
Well, because when you set up a lure, you can buy a lure for something like $1, and then
It's usually like 30 minutes, right?
yeah, and it sets it up for 30 minutes, and as long as you can do the math on that. As long as you have one customer during that 30 minutes, then you've made your money back.
Right. Well, I was watching the soccer game this weekend, France versus Portugal, and I was like super into it. It wasn't that exciting of a game, so I set up a lure where I was at the bar, and people around me were all on board with that, and that was really fun to do. I liked being able to go to a social place, set up a lure, and watch people there play. That's really cool. And then that makes sense for like food trucks and businesses to be able to get in on this.
There's like the poke Ubers that's been talked about, the poke buses,
which makes total sense. I mean, I try not to Pokemon Go and drive, but when I'm a passenger in a car, you can count on that's all that I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you won't earn steps for eggs if you go above 12 miles an hour. However, Pokemon will still pop up.
Yeah,
so
you still check in and collect those Pokemon balls.
Then you got to be in a situation where you can scream at the driver, "Pull over!" and they'll be able to safely pull over so you can grab the Pokemon. I was doing that at 2 a.m. with somebody where I was in the passenger seat with both of our phones, and something would pop up and I'd say, "Pull over!" and it was fine because it was 2 a.m. in Santa Monica and nobody else was around.
Yeah, so you didn't feel like you were in danger.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have Pokemon Go stories, let us know. Tweet at me and just tell me about your Pokemons. I'm very, very curious. And also, if you hear rumors about different mechanics of the game, let us know about that, and so we can look into those.
Is it true that if you're by the ocean, you'll find more water Pokemon? What if you go out to like the desert? Will you find more ground
That
Pokemon?
is entirely true because of the GPS tracking, and they use the map so that they know that you're closer to water or water sources. I went down to the pier and caught a bunch of water Pokemon the other day.
Ooh, okay.
It was great. All right. Well, hopefully we can talk more about Pokemon later. Inevitably, we'll talk more about Pokemon later. But for now, the next topic of interest is the CSGO Lotto scandal. Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that. I didn't really... Well... I didn't really understand it until all of the news going around about the scandal. And so when I read into it, it did look a little fishy. I don't know.
Yeah. So for those of you who are unaware of what the CSGO Lotto is, there is a site where a couple of third-party sites where you can gamble with your CSGO weapon skins. Mm-hmm. And so it's essentially like using real money because you can sell a lot of those skins back for a lot of money. So the scandal aspect of it is that a couple of YouTubers, Syndicate, I think T Martin, those are the two
that are being sued.
Yes, they owned the CSGO Lotto site, and they were making reaction videos and videos promoting it, and they straight up said like, "Oh, we found this site and you can gamble on it with your CSGO skins and you can win big, and like we'll see if they can partner with us and sponsor our videos." Mm-hmm. And it turns out that they actually owned those sites, and so the question is, I mean, is that actually illegal? And then also, or just misleading? And then also, most of their fans are pretty young, because like with online gambling, you have to be over 21, except for this CSGO Lotto sort of site, where you only have to be, I think, over 13.
Right. So it's teaching kids, or it's encouraging kids to gamble, and I think that's the moral of the story. Is it's a younger crowd, and that's just not okay.
Yeah. Also, you only have to be 13 to play CS:GO, and only and you can participate in these sites if you are 13 years old. So that is underage gambling.
Right. And then I think now they're coming. I read something that now they're both coming out with videos like backpedaling, being like, "Oh, we never really encouraged it," or and just kind of keeping their foot in their mouths.
Twitch streamer Josh OG had a similar issue. Yeah, it's non-disclosing sponsorship is pretty illegal. However, I mean, it's not even sponsorship, it's ownership. This was their site, and they were just promoting their own business. And in a time where YouTubers are literally called influencers, I think it's dangerous and unethical.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because you do, as a business owner, want to promote your business. However, yeah, you're writing a very fine line there.
If I would have been okay with it if they had come out early on and said, "Hey, we have this site, like you can win big, and this is what it's all about," and put everything above board. I still kind of disagree with having 13-year-olds gamble, because at that age you really don't know what impulse control is.
Right.
However, if they'd said, "Hey, this is what it is, everybody be careful, we own this," it would have been a lot less fishy.
Yeah, in that age, you don't really understand loss.
Yeah, it is, agreed. It is 100% unethical. I agree. The question is whether or not it's illegal. I don't know enough law to be able to speculate on that.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, well, I know because I do sports bets. However, okay, so we're gonna get technical here.
Okay.
So those sports online gambling sites, and I guess it goes the same for poker. Those companies have to be incorporated outside of the United States. So most of them are usually from like the Caribbean or like Aruba or somewhere really weird and off.
So offshore companies.
Yeah, offshore companies, definitely. And so I think CSGO Lotto is out of Florida. So they somehow have to prove that it's not gambling. They have to prove that it's fantasy somehow.
Sure.
So,
and I mean, it's hard. It'd be incredibly hard to prove that, especially since, it looks like a slot machine, and you are gambling, but with skins. But skins are worth money, so it's not looking good for them.
Nope. This is going to be interesting, and well, because I think what Valve came out and said, they technically don't have monetary value.
Yeah. Which is, everybody knows that that's not true. Oh, and that's another thing too, is that Valve was linking to a lot of these third-party sites, and encouraging this kind of behavior. So Valve is also in trouble with this.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this shakes out. Let's see what time we had talked about.
I'm glad it was a parent though who came out and was just like, their child obviously had a problem, and they were like, this isn't okay.
Yeah, gambling
so,
addiction is a very real problem. They have hotlines for that.
So. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. I think are our guests here yet? No.
Magic the Gathering started as a game where you gambled. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, God.
Okay, we got a couple minutes to hit the next topic. So going along with this idea of YouTubers and disclosure, lately the huge news that blew up on Twitter yesterday was that Warner Brothers paid a lot of huge YouTubers for positive reviews of Shadow of Mordor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you heard about this too.
So this happens with everyone. YouTubers make their money from YouTube, but they also work off of brand deals.
Yeah.
And so when I first read this article, I was like, how is this just now just now a red flag? This has been...
Well, now it's because Warner Brothers settled on their FTC case, and that's the reason it's news.
Okay.
It's because Warner Brothers was like, we bad, and we're paying a bunch of money to make this better.
Yeah.
So for a little bit of backstory for this is that YouTubers they very frequently are sponsored by companies that will pay them to show off their items, whether it's makeup or games or food. Branded deals are a huge part of where YouTubers and Twitch streamers get their money.
Right.
So what Warner Brothers messed up with was that they didn't have their YouTubers tell people that they were being paid. In some cases, they said, "Oh, just tell the people that we gave you the game, but not necessarily that we paid you,
that we sponsored
Yeah.
this video or stream or whatever."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a sticky. I would be interested to go back and be a fly on the wall during what was talked about during the contract or the negotiations for making that, because I wonder if they meant for that to happen, for them to be, were they really being facetious and like saying like, do we, let's make this look like we're not really sponsoring you, or were they just
like they actually gave explicit instructions like how to make their videos as well, and saying not disclose it. Somebody in the chat is saying that it really has to do with the disclosure.
Okay.
I have done things with Sony. They have not paid me or sponsored me. They've only, like, for instance, given me a game or let me do an early play test, and even in those cases they gave me very explicit instructions, a list that said I cannot talk about certain aspects of things. I have to disclose in a video or on a Twitch stream that I went to an event, and so I might be biased. And any sort of social media, I had to put #sponsored on it, even though they weren't necessarily paying me money. They were just giving me a game. So Sony is very explicit about those sort of guidelines. And I think if Warner Brothers, again, had disclosed everything and had provided those guidelines to those streamers, everything would have been fine, because that's how YouTube does business.
That's true. Okay. Well, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess there should have been some transparency there. I just don't. It does, like, if a game is sponsoring you or paying you to do a video about a game, I would hope that you wouldn't turn around and be like, this game is rubbish, and like, so like, to me, if you're being sponsored to play a game for a company and you turn around and bash it because it's, you're being maybe truthful about how you feel about the game, it doesn't make sense, as a businesswoman. You want to, they're coming to you, and then you want to give that service back. And so to me, I'm like, well, of course they're going, of course they definitely should have had like sponsored or something in there.
So do you think that if a gamer discloses that they're sponsored and that they're paid money to play this game and they give it a positive review, does that review hold less weight for you? Like, because you're like, oh, well, I know that they're being paid money to do this, so it's unlikely that they would give it a negative review.
Well, okay, here is my... Okay. What? I don't know. When I go on to watch someone play a game, I guess their opinion of the game doesn't influence my decision whether or not to buy it or not. I'm watching them play to see how the game plays. But I probably have a different take to watching people stream than most people. If I'm going to look at a review on the game, I'm going to go to IGN. I'm going to go to Game Informer.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for a review on what someone's opinion of the game is, I'll go read it.
Yeah.
If I'm watching it, it's to like see how it's being played and how smooth it is, and if it's the fighting style I like and that type of stuff.
Gavin UK says, if someone got absolutely anything in return for playing a game, I wouldn't listen to their opinions. And it's funny, too, because like in traditional media, critics are not allowed to accept gifts a lot of times from the creators because it'll color their opinions. And in this day and age where, again, people who are just consumers, regular consumers, happen to have millions of viewers that watch them consume something, should they abide by the same code? Right. Like, can they? Because that's where most of their most of their money comes from.
True.
Or is there some sort of a system or a codified rule of ethics that can be worked out to allow them to be paid, but still hold them to some sort of journalistic standards?
Right.
I think there's something in between. Like, also, people who watch them can be savvy consumers as well and say, oh, well, they were paid $1 million to play this game. Maybe they might be influenced a little bit.
Yeah, I think that you should be held to some standard for sure. I mean, the people who are watching you should obviously know. Like if it's a good following that you have, if someone I watch pretty continuously says something about a game, I've watched them enough to know I feel like what I think they would like.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes if it's too sponsored, if it's too businessy, then I'll know right away. You know, so I think it's up to your judgment as the viewer.
Yeah. And just either way, I think disclosure is going to really influence all of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, because, and like, as you were saying, food critics, a lot of big food critics won't be paid to go to restaurants and have their meals paid for, because then they are inclined to give a better food review. Therefore, it should be the same for video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's the news for this half an hour, or however long we ended up going for.
Your guests? Yes. All right, so our first guests are from Insomniac Games. This year, they've already released Ratchet & Clank, the game based on the movie, based on their game and Edge of Nowhere. Now they're bringing us a look at their new platformer, Song of the Deep. Let's take a look at the trailer.
I always loved my father's tales about the sea. The forests of lantern jellies shining like stars in the night sky. The great, ravenous beasts that lurk in the depths. The forbidden ancient cities of the Meadows. I never imagined that his stories were real, or that I would have to face those dangers myself to find him.
And we're back. We teased a little bit of the trailers on previous episodes, and I talked about how I'd gotten a little bit of a hands-on, and I loved it. So we have some of our friends from Insomniac Games coming to show off the game itself. Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going great.
It's going really great. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, I'm super excited to show everybody Song of the Deep.
And this is my first look at it too. So
Oh, cool.
Should I go advanced difficulty? No.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to take the risk. I'll embarrass myself.
Merrin loved the sea. She loved the sound of the waves.
Oh, do they have volume?
Through her window.
Thank you.
She dreamt every night of the mysteries that lay beneath.
Is that good? Can we
Her
hear
father
it?
was a fisherman.
Yeah, and they'll be
Each
able to
day
hear
he
better
went
too.
out to sea, and each night Merrin waited at the rocky cliff edge, holding up a candle to guide him safely home. The two of them were poor. Their roof was leaky, and they didn't know
Somebody said we look really tired.
each other. Merrin knew they
we look really tired?
No, that Brian and I look
At
really
night,
tired.
her
No,
father
I just
sang her
look old,
songs
but
of
that's
the
okay.
It's my birthday today. I'm 45 now. So
Happy birthday!
Really? Happy birthday! Oh my God, you
so
guys
I'm halfway between 40 and 50 now, so I'm on the losing side.
Merrin knew
No.
So yeah, there you go.
but she loved to listen to them.
I look tired. It's because I'm old.
She drifted off to sleep.
No, it's because you guys are working on a million
know,
projects. You've
I
already
know, I was gonna
released
say.
3 games this
They're
year.
grinding away, making
With 2 more to come.
Wow.
And happily,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
More VR goodness for you, Erica.
I'm excited.
Yay, everyone's wishing you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
through the night, staring out at the empty sea. She shivered in the cold wind.
I'm
as she
ancient
watched
for the
her
game world
all
at this
the next
point.
day. Her eyes welled with
I don't know. I think the gaming
I need a
industry.
hipster beard.
I think the gaming industry might be aging with you.
It's like
A
200
little bit.
years, Josh Lazarus says.
In her dreams, she
Good
saw
point.
Don't
Fair
look
point.
at they were 35.
deep
Oh,
beneath
it was a sad attempt at an insomniac joke.
I like it. I like it.
a desperate and dangerous plan was already forming in her head. She took scraps of metal and wood her father had caught in his nets and pieced them together. She hammered and bolted.
This
she
is one thing that I
measured and
really
sawed.
loved about the game.
Before the
It's
sun
that this is
set,
this little girl
she had
who
built
built her
tiny,
own submarine from scrap.
I think that's one of the stories resonating with a lot of people. I think one of the things I love most is hearing the stories of parents who are playing it with their kids, and the kids really connect to it, and and the parents really connect to it. So yeah, it's kind of a good bonding game,
Where did the story come from?
It started out. I wanted to make a story for my daughter, and we had the idea already that we wanted to make a submarine game. But I'd been thinking for a while. I wanted to make a hero for my daughter that represented the qualities that I wanted her to admire in herself. Because there's a lot of she would see movies and she would always talk about how pretty the girl characters are, and she likes girl characters, but it's always princesses and stuff like that. And I wanted her to admire the character for being smart and being brave and being kind and not so much about being pretty. So Marin is
That is
got it.
adorable.
Well,
Wait, we're searching for stuff.
I'm not crying. You are. Whoa, that's awesome. Oh, sorry. What did we do?
No.
I just clicked OK.
Spider-Man.
Oh, sorry. We might have.
Or Zoolander.
What did we do?
Could watch Spider-Man with like a
Dad of
preview.
the Year award.
Well, there's
Yeah.
a great video too that really there's an interview with Brian's daughter Fiona and Brian together. It shows them behind the scenes making of the game. Should be at our website on Insomniac Games, or you can go to songofthedeep.com.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Check
Did
out
you
the
use her
video.
a lot in the story?
She actually, yeah, I mean, I wrote the original version and I showed her the original story version. So this is where Marin is just down. This is an area called Glowkelp Forest.
Gorgeous.
Glow-kelp bulbs lit up around her as she
Oh, yeah,
passed
they-
by.
We have a lot we really want to make a living world, so we wanted everything to be kind of interactive, a lot of things to discover.
No, but seriously, what you just said right now was exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you. That means so much to hear that.
Well, it was great. She actually she likes to write her own stories, so she took the story I gave her, and then she wrote her own, which is fully illustrated. And I'm a terrible artist, as like anyone at Insomniac will tell you. And she, my daughter's a good artist, and she illustrated this whole story for me, and she was really insistent that there'd be a mermaid in the story. And I was like, well, I don't know. There's lots of stories about mermaids, and I know you like them. But then I thought about it, and you need something underneath that you care about, like somebody to root for. So it's not just ruins. And so I rethought it, and yeah, I decided, they're gonna be marrows.
You can never have too many mermaids.
Well, they're
in
marrows.
media.
That was my compromise. I wanted to base it on Irish mythology because I felt like mermaids and kind of Greek and Roman mythology was sort of commonly used, and we're all pretty familiar with it. So the idea of the marrows and the femori came from Irish myths.
Oh, wow.
And by the way, Brian has a penchant for creating great stories too. This is the godfather of Ratchet and Clank.
Wow.
Yeah, the originator of the concept.
Clockwork gears.
Originator of the first concept. I mean, yeah, there's so many of us who worked for so many years on Ratchet and contributed to the universe.
I'm the worst host ever. I'm sorry. Please introduce yourselves.
Oh,
I'm Brian Hastings. I'm Chief Creative Officer at Insomniac.
and I'm Ryan Schneider, Chief Brand Officer at Insomniac.
I like that you guys got that background before they introduced themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man.
A couple people asked, who is the voice?
That is Siobhan Hewlett. She's actually, the funny thing is, I didn't know this until I was in the studio with her. She's actually from the same part of the world that Marin is from. So I had, my family and I had been on a trip to Ireland a few years ago, and we visited County Clare, and we saw the cliffs of Moher, and they're beautiful and they're amazing. And that was part of why I was imagining Marin standing at the cliffs, looking out for her father, holding up a candle. So I was looking for like the kind of the perfect place where I wanted Marin to live. I picked the northern coast of County Clare, and so after we found Siobhan, she had the most perfect voice for the game, And we bring her in. I knew she was Irish. I didn't know where she was from. And I'm telling her about the story. And I'm telling her, this is where Marin lives. I'm getting into all these specific details she does not need to know. I figure I'm boring her. And then she has this look on her face like, wow. And like, what? She says, that's where I live. And yeah, it was just weird. It was just such a weird coincidence.
That's fantastic.
That's meant to be.
Yeah, right?
I hear my friend Patrick was also a consultant on all things Irish.
I was just going to bring that story up.
Yeah.
When we were doing the voice casting for this, as well as the launch trailer where you hear Marin's father, I always like to pass the candidates through Patrick, because Patrick, of course, is Irish, and he has quite a sensitive ear for this, and he was very pleased with Siobhan, and he was pleased with Tom Kane, who voiced Iron.
Tom Kane was great too.
Yeah.
I always admire people who can do accents like that. So to find someone who is actually.
She's so good. I mean, and she's a great actress as well. Just the emotion she puts into it, because it's kind of a sad story in parts, and I like her subtlety. She never overdoes it. She's got the perfect tone and the perfect sense of sorrow, in the sad parts. Because there's some parts where it can, it's not dark, but it's a little sad.
A lot of people in the chat are saying they're very glad to have an underwater platformer. I myself am also very much drawn to the ocean games, because it's a sense of vastness.
Right. Yeah. That's how we felt. That's how we felt as well. I think it's kind of a shared fantasy that there's something undiscovered that's just out of sight that's could actually be there.
Yeah, it's both terrifying and thrilling at the same time.
Well, and Brian also, when you were growing up in South Dakota, it sounded like you had used your childhood bedroom as like. The idea being that it became a submarine and that you were piloting the depths yourself.
I'd always imagine
way back for you.
Imagine my bed was a sub. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, doesn't everybody? I thought that was good.
Yeah, it's like in Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah,
and Max's bed is a ship, and that's what I used to do.
I saw a question here about the soundtrack, and that's something that we love talking about too. Jonathan Wendag is a composer we worked with.
He's amazing.
On Outer Knots. He did great work there, and he did the soundtrack for Song of the Deep and really just nailed it. Intuitively got what we were going for from the very beginning, and it's been an absolute pleasure for my team to work with from like the trailer standpoint, and more importantly from the game itself.
Is it going to be available somewhere? Because I can just really imagine just kind of zenning out to it.
Part of the collector's edition.
It is, yeah. It's part of the collector's edition.
That's correct. Twitchzilla. It was released on Steam on July 12th. And we are playing it on the Xbox right now.
And the art's I love how there's so many different colors and depth to the art. It's
Sing G, I mean, actually both Sing and Jonathan are award-winning. They've won awards for what they've done. And yeah, I mean, Sing's art is just incredible. The layers she does, the depth, and you'll see when we get into the Merrow Ruins, it's beautiful. And the amount of movement, I think that's the other thing I love about what the team has done, just the amount of layers of movement, especially when we get into the Merrow Ruins area. So this Hermit Crab will sell me things. I don't have enough to buy anything right now, but I'll come back. He's waving goodbye.
Dork says, just added to my wish list. Yeah, I was very impressed with the layered feel of it and how it does feel, even though it's a platformer, and traditionally platformers feel very limited because, you're just on one screen at a time, but because of the depth of the layers, this felt so vast for an ocean game.
I think it does. I like how every part of the world has a distinct feel. I think Jonathan's music really accentuates that.
And we tried to bring that out too, even in like the key art that we use, like for the game box cover, to just kind of give you a sense of how small you are in this giant ocean, but at the same time, like the ship is surrounded by this light to kind of symbolize that you should never lose hope, no matter what the circumstances are.
Aww. Yeah, I know my feels.
I know. Where's the pillow I can hug?
I used to love playing Spyro with my kids. It was one of the first games that we really, I can't believe I missed that we played together. And so I think that's why it makes me happy to hear that parents are playing with their kids and really enjoying it, because I want more of those kind of games to exist.
Yeah. This
is
like
definitely the first game I can, like, I have a 1-year-old at home. I feel like this is the first game I can take home and say, okay, Audra, we're gonna do this. Like, let's have game time together.
And it begins.
I feel like we get so many different, shooter games, and then especially right now, like horror and Pokemon, which is fun to do with
Oh yeah,
families, but
we
like,
were playing that last night.
but this is so refreshing. This is so sweet to see, and something I would want to play, with my little cousins or anyone, because I'm not, I don't know how to use Minecraft or anything like that.
Right.
This is right up my alley.
I always push for a diversity in the type of games that we get to play. A lot of platformers are still very violent, and I feel like we do need, there is a space in the market for all ages games. It's something that can be enjoyed by people our age or for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we all started when we were young. I mean, I was playing the Atari 2600 back when it first came out. I saw Pong when it first came out, like at the mall.
We know you're 45.
Did it,
I'm 45.
did it blow your mind?
It blew my mind. I was like, no, I'm controlling that on the screen. That's me. Yeah, it blew my mind.
Was that the moment at which you knew you wanted to make games?
I didn't even think that was a possibility back then.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I mean, I think back then, kids today are so
magic,
lucky to
right?
have like Twitch, and they're lucky to be able to, in just the internet in general, just see what they can be anything. But I think for Brian and myself, I think still at that point in time, like you grew up with like just simply what your parents' expectations were and what their expectations were, and maybe you like read the encyclopedia to see what else was out in the world, and maybe you got to do some traveling, but it was far more limited in your options than it is today. And I think kids have a great opportunity to become game developers now.
Oh, look at the jellies!
Right?
I really like jellyfish.
These are lantern jellies. They're deadly, but they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite areas is the Merrow Ruins. So every place that Marin visits, she discovers new secrets and mysteries about it. There's also a lot of layers of secrets of hidden things, and never part of the Golden Path, but just things to discover, like secret ways that you can find treasure. And there these hidden etchings, like you can only find if you shine your spotlight in certain parts. So it's the little etchings tell a story of you don't know who made them. You'll probably figure it out after you've seen all of them. But they tell a separate story, and it's one of those things. I mean, Singh did an amazing job with it. Just Singh Ji, she was the lead artist, of just telling a story with the world, telling the story with the environment. That was close.
Yeah, I do love the, like I played a part with the ruins, and I got to see, it's like a lot of the environmental storytelling of like the art behind the civilization and where they came from.
I know.
I need to follow instructions. Turn on my searchlight. All right, there we go. All right, see if I die here. No.
I also really appreciate the color in this. We were talking about the color, but I feel like a lot of games and movies, for that matter, these days are leached of color.
Right, yeah.
Ooh!
That's the Merrow. She's a very important character. But,
Role-playing Dungeon Master asked approximately how many hours of games.
So between 8 to 10 is the typical playthrough, but if you're a completionist, it'll probably take you closer to 12.
yeah, to get 100%, it's gonna take a while because there's some pretty good secrets, interactive secrets.
I mean, there's like 200 treasures you can collect, and I think there's 30 different upgrades for the submarine and 16 different abilities that you can master. So there's a lot of, dare I say, depth to something. Been waiting all
dad
day
joke.
to do that.
Dad joke.
Thank you. That's what we do.
I know.
That's what we do.
Come on, this is the same company that did Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Like, we gotta have some back.
So this seems a stark departure from the oeuvre of Insomniac.
No butt jokes in this one.
I know. It's still got like the coloring and the sort of fun poppy feel to it. But I mean, was there the temptation to throw in a fart joke here and there?
No, I mean,
Well, there are a lot of bubbles in the
not
water.
a strong.
I know. I mean, you could say she is.
Yeah.
I mean, the tone was really important. I think that's one of the most important things on this game. And I really like I mean, having written on a lot of the Ratchet games, I like the humor part of it, and Spyro as well. And this felt a lot to me like making Spyro just in terms of the discovery and kind of the magic of the world and the palace and just the feel. The music as well. I mean, Stuart Copeland on Spyro was amazing.
Yes. Also, the shinies are really enticing in both of these games.
It's a good point. Yeah, wanting to collect all the treasure. Yeah, that was one of the best parts of Spyro.
I'm a completionist, and I would just spend hours going after all the shinies.
I did too. With my kids, that was one of the best parts.
I just want to smash crates all day.
I'm not going to chase it. This is one of the secrets. If I were to go follow that, it's going to lead somewhere. I won't do it right now because I want to go to the Watcher's Hollow.
Orkdork says, "Oh, puns! They'll fit right in here." Yay!
Nice.
Chat has been trying to have a pun off, I think, in the last couple of days.
Wait, no. Oh, you know what? I want to go. I'm going to visit the Hermit Crab because I want to get an upgrade because I'm going to need it.
It really looks like you can interact with just about everything in here.
Oh, are you kidding me? I'm one coin short.
That's the idea too. Is,
All right.
We really wanted to focus on this feeling like a living ocean that you can truly interact with anything and be surprised in every playthrough that there's something new that you can experience that you could work. And so we really try to encourage experimentation with the environment. There's a lot of little things you can do. Brian will probably show off in a little bit. It'll be like a giant clam, and you can like feed the clam, and it'll spit out like a little treasure for you. You find the right thing that it likes to eat. There are other shellfish that are very particular about their appetite. You have to find the right thing to feed them in order to get the treasure you want. So there's a lot of little things like that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And the difficulty that you were just adjusting, is it for combat? Or also
the difficulty.
for...
Yeah, it just affects the combat difficulty. So that was the one thing that we felt really just watching playtest divided people was just. Like some people wanted more challenge in combat, and some people like found it more frustrating. So that was the big thing we wanted to let people tune for themselves.
Seahorse was poking at a glass wall.
Ooh.
It's a beautiful seahorse.
Merrin thought.
He's made of clockwork gears. Yeah, he's a big part of the mystery. You find out more about him later. He's actually part of the. I can't say it. It'd be a spoiler.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
I was just gonna say there's something emotional with him later, but I won't get into it.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm like
sculpture,
the heads here.
Yeah.
Ready to make me cry.
Can you tell me a little bit about those?
I will have to get Sing to because she told me what the inspiration was specifically,
It looks familiar.
It does, and I forget. It wasn't. I forget the exact name, but yeah, she did a lot of research into to each of the areas and to what influences she wanted to put in.
Yeah, because this is a very Asian influence. It seems up here.
Yeah, I like that. I really like what she did with it because I originally had kind of a different idea for the direction that I was proposing, and then she went this way. I was like, oh, you know what? That's like 10 times better. Yeah. So yeah, every area of the world. I mean, she just did an amazing job, like bringing it to life with the layers, with the the spooky areas like Watcher's Hollow. It's just super creepy. Yeah, I love these things. I actually hate these things, but I just kind of love how creepy they are.
What if you touch it?
You're gonna have a bad day. Yeah.
Gonna have a bad time. No.
Merrin did not like that.
She did not like that one bit. She's mad at me.
She's
right now.
traumatized. Okay, she's back to normal.
All right, here we go.
Did y'all go see? Oh my gosh, it's funny giving us that little taste of what it does to you, and then seeing that hallway.
All right, it's gonna be bad.
Whoa, no!
But I got the upgrade, so I'm gonna survive.
I love
probably.
bioluminescent stuff.
Don't be so shellfish.
Hey, clam up in there.
Oh, well done.
Swam through the dark caverns, heedless of their deadly surroundings. Maybe
These are cuddle pups, and they're
stinging an
they're very brave. They're actually kind of one of the mysteries because everything's scared of them, but like you don't know why. So, like these stinging anemones are afraid of them. But
Fascinating.
all right, got through there. Now it gets a little trickier.
How long was the development cycle on this?
It's been about a year and a half. We had the concept, like an early version of the concept earlier on, but we actually started, we did our first demo in about 2 weeks. That was, so it was last February, so about a year and a half ago.
And how big is the team on this one?
We started with 11 people and grew up to about 15.
Wow.
So fairly small team.
That is a very small
Yeah.
team for all of this.
By Insomniac standards,
Yeah.
definitely.
So it's about the size that we had on the first Spyro at the end. I think that's kind of, whoa.
Oh no, there's
Oh no! Oh no! Come back!
I can do it.
Well,
That's,
your cuddle bug's coming back around.
he's gonna come back. Time it right.
There he is.
I mean, I think that's kind of why the development reminded me of Spyro, because the team size was pretty similar, and a lot of the challenges, and also a lot of things like, well, get through the before it closes. Sorry, I wasn't paying
Oh
attention.
no!
The time, the gate beat me. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention.
I think the other thing that's special about the team that put this together is that they've been together like when we were working on mobile
Right,
games,
yeah.
and they worked on Outer Knots together. So this is a
Outernauts
very
Facebook,
tight-knit,
the
tight-knit
MMORPG
group.
version of it that we made back in the day. I can do.
get-
No, I'm
get
totally
stuck.
gonna do that. I'm totally gonna make it.
Get down there, get down there, do it, get down there.
I didn't pull it far enough. I thought I had time. No, okay. All right, I'm taking this.
King
100%
Karma asks,
serious.
any chance of a Sunset Overdrive 2? I don't know. They're working on 2 VR games and Spider-Man right now, so I really don't know if that's on the
Pretty full
horizon.
slate at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll just say I have a lot of love for
Yes.
Sunset, and we all do at some point. So
Oh yeah.
we do. I someday it's one of those things. Someday it would be nice to do.
Yeah.
I hope we do.
Someday.
I think it's on the wish
Huh?
list for sure. Like it's on the list. We definitely want to do it. We own the IP, so
You hear that, Kotaku?
Yes, you made it through.
See, I got skills even at 45. It might be waning, but there. All right, now.
Nah, you an OG gamer.
That's true.
Yeah.
Should have seen me back in my Pong days.
Oh wow.
It's unbeatable.
don't get me started on
My
it.
Atari Combat.
Merrin sailed out into a great
The maw.
open expanse of water.
Oh.
Leviathan was echoed in the distance.
That's the Queen
This
Leviathan. Spoiler alert.
seemingly bottomless trench
So cool.
was known as the Maw.
I mean, I think this is pretty spoopy, Meryl.
Yeah.
Well, at
Alright.
least you don't have a VR headset on to.
Oh my
I
gosh.
should not do
Horrified.
underwater VR. No. That
Did you get to see what happened?
That was amazing.
When they brought Edge of Nowhere over? For those of you who missed the stream, during Edge of Nowhere, when I was just freaking out in the headset, Ryan came up and brushed my shoulder, and I flipped out and threw the controller behind the couch. That game is so scary.
But she couldn't remember where she
One
had
thing
seen
you Insomniacs do very well is atmosphere. And that's very much apparent in Edge of Nowhere and this game in very different ways.
We like creating worlds. That's one of the most fun things. Is you create a world and let people discover it, and give them jump scares. That's
Well, and the other thing too, I think, is just being an independent studio, we're able to really focus on the stories we want to make, and this is why we're independent, is that we can make a game like this, we can make a game like Edge of Nowhere, and we can make a game like Sunset Overdrive. Like, they're wildly different in their own ways, but they all have the same kind of DNA of what makes an Insomniac game special.
Right, big and small, they're all super special and have
Yeah,
awesome stories.
when they all mean something on a personal level to all of us. Like, we all work so hard to bring them to life.
Yeah, it's funny you said you can definitely see the Insomniac DNA in this, but I mean, people were so shocked that this was an Insomniac game just because the last thing that came out was Edge of Nowhere.
Right.
And which was also shocking because the last thing to come out before that was Ratchet and Clank.
Yep. Yeah, we like to keep people on their toes.
That's fantastic.
all right. We can do this. There's a really strong current coming down, so this gets a little bit tricky. You've got to time.
Ooh, Kid Karma
You got to
says-
time your boost. So I've got boost jets now that'll boost me forward through the current, but they last a certain amount of time. So I've got to time when
This
I
is
let
one of
go.
the more challenging
that
traversal
lightning bolt?
puzzles.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, yeah. When it turns red, then I've run out of boost. So I kind of wait for it. Then when I'm clear, I'm clear, so I'm gonna make it maybe. Yes.
So when I was playing, the puzzles were just like perfect for me, but the traversal was more difficult because I just have no chill. I cannot wait for things, and I was like, I'm going.
I'm the same way. I know. I jump the gun on this a lot. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've got enough boost now. And
I have no patience.
This is a patience testing puzzle for sure.
Well, that's what I like
I'm
about
kind of
this.
rushing through it here. I haven't been too cautious so far.
Oh, no! Get it! Woo!
No, my anxiety level, my patience level just like start
Yeah.
going out, and then it's just like, I have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foot starts
Oh
tapping.
no!
You start twitching.
Oh
Oh,
no!
that's how they get you. That's how they get you.
You should talk to the programmers about that, Brian.
I did. No, that one's the designers. I
I
did
know.
talk to them. Now they're like, that's part of the fun. I'm like,
No,
all right, I get
but
it.
that's the thing is that this is all about timing, and I just happen to be bad at that. But it's a solid puzzle though.
Lucy Smith.
I haven't played Oxenfree yet. It's amazing.
I got this. One good boost. Yeah. All right. I'm in the clear.
Diverse game styles, genres, and demographic crossover is something Insomniac seems to do well. That's another question: is how do you find the demographic skew for all your different games?
Well, we work closely with our publishers, and we look at the data that's there. But for us, what's most important is just making the games that we want to make. And
Yeah.
yes, certainly part of that is, well, who would this appeal to? Like, we have to ask that when we're coming up with new IP. But we try not to worry about that as much. Like, we really want to focus on telling a great story, and we're lucky that we had a partner like GameStop in this situation that believed in the story, because this is one of those like passion projects that, maybe it would have fallen through the cracks at some of the bigger publishers.
Absolutely.
So to be able to bring this to life in a new experimental way, it was gratifying for us.
And to be able to do Metroidvania, that's something that we've all loved for a long time.
Yeah.
Very rewarding. No, it doesn't feel like you're necessarily pandering to different demographics, but do you find that they tend to skew wildly depending on the different kinds of games you put out?
What I've noticed based on our fan community is that we definitely have dedicated Insomniac fans who follow us from franchise to franchise because they just love the kind of game we make, and the way that most people seem to summarize that is humor and heart. This game may skew more towards heart than humor, and it may balance.
Not a lot of jokes.
But then there's Ratchet, which has heart, but it's definitely more on the humor side
yeah.
of things as well. So we definitely attract a certain type of gamer, and at the same time, though, we still. We had Resistance 3, or the Resistance franchise in general, very heavy. Not a lot of humor there necessarily either. So it also comes down to the gameplay and just creating a balanced game that feels like it's handcrafted.
Well, yeah, and I think just through the games that you've made thus far, you have a loyal following. Everyone can expect a pretty solid story, and you're right, humor and heart is, no matter what you play, it's going to be an Insomniac game. You'll love it.
We hope so. Thanks you. It means a lot. It's like we love what we do. Brian's been doing it here at Insomniac for 22 years, I think, and
I'm 45.
yeah,
Happy birthday!
I'm 12 years in, almost 13, and at Insomniac, and it's just this is our home.
Well, this game is out for PS4, Xbox One, and on Steam right now. Go get it. Add it to your wish list. Get the soundtrack because it's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Coming on
Can I
short
Can I blow up this
notice.
one door? Can I blow up this one door?
We're literally
Oh,
like
good,
blocks
good,
away,
good.
so.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for coming in on your
Thank you.
birthday. This is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Oh, this is great.
Your birthday
very
surprise.
much.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
We're going to play the trailer as an outro again. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Hi, thank you.
I always loved my father's tales about the sea. The forests of lantern jellies shining like stars in the night sky. The great, ravenous beasts that lurk in the depths. The forbidden ancient cities of the Merrows. I never imagined that his stories were real. Or that I would have to face those dangers myself. To find him.
That was a really beautiful game. I'm so glad we got to play that.
I know. I was pleasantly surprised. That was really cool.
So in tabletop news, we've been talking a lot about video games, but this show is actually also about tabletop games or games in general. Anything you do to have fun, this show is about. So the Evil Dead tabletop Kickstarter got funded, triple funded. In fact, I think it's $250,000 over $250,000, and they asked for $70,000.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
And as we all know, though, Evil Dead 3: Army of Darkness was the superior film, but Evil Dead 2 was a popular enough IP to push the game to get super funded. Right. Are you familiar? You've seen this movie?
I have.
Awesome.
Yes. And I think it was like $60 gets you the game.
Yes.
So you're pretty much buying the game. You get to be a part of, I think this is just tabletop gaming and board. It makes sense. All of it just makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So $60, you get a whole bunch of things, and the really exciting part for a lot of people about this particular game was the fact that you get really nice miniatures of all of the characters, and because normally for games, the things that cost it's easy to print. So like cards are big, like tiles are big, but really nice miniatures or dice pieces, things like physical items are more
collectible.
More collectibles are harder to come by for games. So that's what people were really excited about for this. I don't know. Would you play this game? Even though you're a fan of the film, but would you buy this game for $60?
You know what? Yes. I think I would. You are more well versed in gaming than I am, or tabletop gaming.
Don't say yeah. I play a couple more tabletop games.
Yeah, and so we were talking before this about something I've.
Yes, that's right. We were talking about how you said you didn't play as many board games, but you played a new one last night. What was that one?
Camel Up. Speaking of gambling, actually, it's you pretty much take bets on what camel's going to make it around the board first. So, but it's a really cool game. My friends actually just built their own Risk board. So I went over there to check out the Risk board, and then we ended up playing this game. And I'm kind of just so fascinated by everyone being so interested in this. And I have a lot of friends who enjoy doing that, building their own board games,
So since I was thinking about it because I said, like, what are you into? And then I'll try and recommend a game for you. So you said you really like horror.
I do.
So I would recommend Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Okay.
So that's a game in which you and your friends are exploring an old house, and you have to kind of work together to discover different rooms, and you work together up until a certain point, because after an event happens, then one of you, it turns out, is a traitor.
Ooh.
Yeah, and the others have to work
and
against you. Yes. So it's a fun asymmetrical game, and there's a storyline. So once the event happens, it's like suddenly you hear
have the game.
Oh yes. And actually, I love this game.
Betrayal?
And actually, one of the later stories we're talking about is the expansion for this that's coming out. Widow's Walk is going to be the scenarios are written by luminaries of the gaming field, like
Look at this.
Penny Arcade, Zoe Quinn, a lot of video game writers are going to be writing expansions for this. So that is the game that I would recommend for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Get it.
All right. So moving on. Also, it seems that there has been a decline in video games being crowdsourced, or at least having them funded through crowdsourcing. Like apparently this time last year, there was like half as many there was twice as many dollars going into video games on Kickstarter as there are now.
I would have to say there has to be some correlation between actually having the product that you will have forever, that you will be able to play with your friends until you're 80 years old. Whereas kickstarting a game, it's a really cool concept, a really cool process to be a part of, to fund. But it's irrelevant after a couple years, you know? And so I think it's the fact of having something in front of you in a really cool game, actually. And so Evil Dead, it makes sense.
So you feel like having a physical item and having something with longevity.
Right. And just having the physical game doesn't count, because once that, I mean, I guess you'll always have a PC, but like if you did get it on Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, it's a couple years and you're already on to the next gen. You know.
Interesting.
And so this is with you. This is
and one thing that I've noticed is that the reason that there was a lot of money being poured into video games on Kickstarter last year was because there were a lot of IPs that were being revived, or there was like a spiritual successor. There was like the Banjo-Kazooie folks did Ukulele, Mighty Number 9, which. That's another story too. I'll come back to that. Shenmue, whereas this year there aren't as many like high profile games that people want to kickstart. Also, things like Psychonauts and a lot of the big ones were on other crowdfunding, things like Fig or I think Indiegogo. But yeah, another one is, you heard about Mighty Number 9?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a bucket of cold water in the face of a lot of people who kickstart games. They realize that their grand hopes and dreams might not necessarily come to fruition, despite having something like $9 million, was it?
There's just so much that goes into the process of developing a game. It's not entirely about funding.
Yes.
And I think that needed to be very transparent, actually, from the beginning. I mean, there's so many different reasons why a game fails to make it out of development and actually into your hands. It's not all about you throwing your money at something and seeing it being made. There's so many different variables that are out of our control that they have to deal with as developers. And so putting your money, it's a gamble.
Yeah.
Putting your money into a video game and hoping that, and investors deal with that every day. Publishers deal with that every day. Whenever these developers come with a game, it's like, okay, can we actually see this game being made?
Yeah, Rob James Morgan points out that the delays from a lot of Kickstarter games really have poisoned the backers. It's true. Whereas with investors, or if you're a big company, you have to answer to the suits up top. But you can always be like, hey, this is the reasonable amount of time we can get it done in. This is, and they'll show data for this, and they'll be like, okay. Whereas if like 20, I don't know how many people would, like 2,000 people kickstart your game, they feel like they own a piece of you.
Right.
And they're a lot less likely to brook with delays.
Right.
I'm
You owe them
always-
something.
Yeah.
They put money towards your passion project. You owe them something.
Yeah, and I'm always of the opinion that if a game needs to be delayed, please delay it. Otherwise, you ship with a broken game. However, not everybody is willing to put up with that.
No, I would rather have a great product in my hand than something super buggy that was just sped into post. Like, just get it out. Let's just get it out. Let's just put it in the hands of the people who want it. And I'm happy that Return to Arkham, or is that the Batman game? What's the more recent Batman game that just got delayed?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that got delayed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and definitely it might come out in November. We're not sure, but Warner Brothers delayed it after E3.
I mean, the House of Warner Brothers is on fire, so
yes,
God
they
help them. They can take the time that they need. I will wait for them.
Yes, exactly. And that was my argument, was if they need more time, give them more time, by all means.
Disney Pixar chick says, delay it, but explain why. Yeah, and there's also the fact is that we shouldn't have to necessarily feel beholden to a bunch of people just because they gave you some of their money, because it's also your livelihood and your work that you're putting out there. And
You want to put out a good product.
Yes.
You don't want to come out with something shitty and then I don't know if I can say that. You don't want to put out something bad and then it just flop, and then you don't have anything to back you going forward. So you want your first game that you're putting out to just be solid.
Absolutely. Uber Baldy says Abduction has been delayed, but everything I've seen from the developers makes me excited for it, and I trust it is coming. Yes, from what is it, Cyan, who did it? It's from the people behind Myst, and yeah, I'll wait for that one again. But I think people are are a little less likely to put their money into games right now that are untested IPs, first of all, and now they're reluctant because they've gotten burned so much. And also, I mean, this is whereas on the other hand, board games has gone up. Funding for board games, people seem to be really excited about. That being said, there's also more board games that are based on IPs, things like Ghostbusters, and I think there was a Conan game.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's either way, I think we can both agree it's a good time to be a geek.
Right. So I'm on the card game kick. Like Superfly.
Oh, yeah.
I love Superfly.
Great,
those
great,
types
great.
of games. I love. There's one that's like a job interview one.
Oh, yes. I forget what that one's called, but I remember that one. Yes.
It's really funny. And pitching projects, like you have your cards and you have to pitch it using those cards. Like I like that type of stuff. Something interactive with the people around you. And then these this is new to me, but I'm really enjoying the games that my friends are getting me into.
Fantastic. So in the lead up, speaking of games, there's the big hype lead up to Gen Con. Have you been, or have you heard of Gen Con?
This is all you, woman.
Okay, all right. So Gen Con is the ginormous tabletop game convention that happens in Indiana every year. It's just, I got to go to my first one last year. It was fantastic because most of it is people playing games, and you just get to go there and you get to try out just anything your heart desires, and they have live action dungeons there, Dungeons and Dragons type dungeons. That is that you can so you can have like a puzzle experience or like a combat experience, and you get a little coin for defeating the boss in there, and yeah, it's super good. And this year it feels kind of like the tabletop version of E3, because you can get your hands on some games that aren't going to be out yet, or that's when a couple of games are launching.
Announcements.
Yes. Announcements. Dungeons. Yes. Ooh. Yeah, and I got to meet a couple of Team Human members out there. It was lovely.
And how relevant is that Gen Con is doing so well? It's getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah.
And then the Kickstarters for the games are doing so well.
I think it just goes to show that this is a renaissance of board games. And I think that, at least for a while, we're going to see Gen Con attendance continue to rise.
Right.
And a couple of games that I'm excited for that I'd like to just chat a little bit about are oh God, what is it? What is it? It's called God, it's Age. It's basically a legacy type game where the story evolves as you play it. And it's set in the Age of Sail, and you can discover islands and explore them and trade with people. You can either have ship-to-ship combat with people. Seafall. Thank you, Seafall. It's one that I'm really looking forward to, because number one, Age of Sail rocks. And number two, it's have you ever played a game where there's Pandemic Legacy, or I think Risk Legacy, where
Risk.
I know Risk.
Risk.
So for Risk Legacy, it's like there's like objective, and it changes as the game goes on, and
Okay.
like you have cards that you'll rip up, or you know, new boxes that you open up that have different pieces, and I love those kind of games because it's an investment, and I get really super invested with my friends in the stories that evolve. So that one's we're gonna get a look at that at Gen Con. Star Trek Ascendancy, where it's a Star Trek game where you kind of like spread a civilization through the galaxy, which is exciting. And Widow's Walk that I was talking about, that's gonna be at Gen Con. That's the one I want. Yeah.
That's
What is
adorable.
Gen Con? Another U.S. thing. Yes, it is in Indiana here in the U.S. If you ever get a chance to attend and you love board games, I would definitely do that. One last thing I wanted to touch on before we have to move on is the new Overwatch character.
Gosh, Anna. And yes, the healer sniper. Yes, I think she is amazing.
Did you get a chance to watch either the gameplay trailer or the story trailer?
The gameplay trailer, not the story trailer.
Oh my god, the story trailer is so good.
Yes.
I don't think it's a spoiler if I say
Just say it.
I say
She's hype.
Farrah's mother.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Spoiler.
I'm a bad
That's okay, Noah.
co-host.
That
I'm
just means I'm
sorry.
gonna play it even more.
So she is a support sniper, which is a completely new kind of class. If somebody in the chat could let me know if there are other kinds of characters like that in other games, but as far as I can think of, I can't think of any.
I think it's
sort of
genius because I love playing
offensive
support. I
healers.
love being a sniper. She's perfect.
Right, and I know that a problem a lot of the support players have is that they get just trounced. People go after the healer, and they don't get no love from their teammates.
Right.
So this is an elegant solution because she has a couple of her attacks that we know about so far. She's got the biotic sniper and the biotic grenade. In both cases, they will damage an enemy and heal a friend, which is genius. And she also has her special is the nano boost, which is she snipes. She has to hit one of her teammates, and they'll get a bump for speed and something else, I believe. But it's so great. Yeah.
I would have loved to be in that room whenever they were coming up with that character. It's like, what if you could heal from afar, but you were also a really cool sniper?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like just such a cool concept. I love it. Now I'm gonna go watch the story.
Yeah, it's true. Snipers are traditionally strikers. This is a drastic change. It's
boost is
such
a grenade.
fascinating. It's a fascinating new mechanic. Blizzard has been just killing it for Overwatch in interesting mechanics, I'd say. But more than that, they've also been killing it in the diversity field.
Right, they really have.
She's an older Egyptian woman. That's not something you ever get to play as in other games. I will give you a piece of candy if you come up with a character that matches that description that you get to play as in another game that is as rad. Because, seriously, Blizzard, thank you so much. They've put so much diversity, packed diversity into their games, and
They're setting the standard.
Yeah.
They're really setting the standard.
and they've proven too that it's not going to hurt them monetarily if they put in characters of color or more women characters or characters of diverse body types.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I think it's shown that it doesn't affect people the way they play. So that's amazing.
Yeah. And a mom. Yeah, that's true. You like mothers. Yeah, there aren't a ton of mothers in video games. I think there was an article to that effect that came out recently. They didn't mention the Michonne Walking Dead game. There is a mother in that, and that's really cool. I'll also shout out to Telltale Games, but yeah, this is super
I
cool.
love Telltale games. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm sure Blizzard didn't invent a sniper medic, but at the same time, this is the first pretty high profile sniper medic that we get. It was really cool.
Yeah, Kid Karma, I do remember that in Borderlands too, now that you say that. But there's so many guns.
Yeah, kick-ass mom sniper medic. Man. Yeah, no. I'm super excited about this announcement. And if you haven't taken a look at the story trailer yet, then please do take a look at that. It's really, really good. Got me all teary-eyed. Yeah. Just that world in Overwatch is so good.
Lightsaber, yes, it is.
Is our guest on site right now?
Yeah,
No?
we have
Yes.
about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we have
Oh yeah, Fallout 4 has the I guess
parent,
there's
protagonist, mother, or
yeah.
father, but you get to choose. Also, it wasn't super compelling in terms of writing. Yeah. I mean, like, considering like you come out into the future and you're looking for your son, like, you spend an awful lot of time doing other stuff that's not like focused on all of that.
You're finding your
Yeah, and that always kind of brought me out of it. It's just like, well, here I am doing all these side quests. I'm picking up clipboards.
Right, it made it to where whenever you actually, spoiler alert, came to met your son, that I wasn't as involved into the story as I wish I was. Yeah.
Okay, so we just really want a piece of candy. Okay, I'll send candy to all of you who came up with that. Do we have time to show the trailer for that, or? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of want you all to see the story trailer because so far I've just been so hooked into the world that's what really got me to buy the game was all of the character relations and the
so good at
cinematics.
that. Oh God, Blizzard cinematics. It's just that's how they just catch you, the hook and line.
Yeah, and this is actually, it's a different style than their others. It's not CG animated. It's told through a series of really beautiful sketches, but it really was very powerful. So I think
I want to watch it.
Yeah, do we?
Watch it.
Is it? Can we get that up? Okay. Thank you, Lucas. Lucas is getting the trailer up for us so at least y'all can see it. And I'll explain it to you blow by blow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal.
But have you been playing a lot of Overwatch?
No, not since Pokemon Go.
Not since Pokemon Go.
But yeah, I do. I love Mercy. I like playing Mercy, so playing it will be nice. I'm just not that great at Overwatch, so I'm not on the Overwatch hype train.
Yes.
That everyone else is on. I do appreciate it though, and I keep up with what all is going on. But
yeah, same here.
we have the trailer.
I'm never gonna be good at it, but I sure do look forward to all the cinematics. All right, watch this trailer real quick.
My dearest Fariha, every mother hopes for a better life for her daughter. I was willing to fight and die for it. I taught you that there is nothing more important than protecting the ones you love. You grew up surrounded by heroes. They filled your head with stories of adventure and dreams of glory. And one day, you wanted to join them, but it was not the life I wanted for you. I never told you of the weight I carry from all those I killed to keep everyone safe. But I always did what was asked of me. Until one day, I could not take the life I needed to. I hesitated, and everything changed. The people who I was supposed to protect died, and I was left behind, gravely wounded. The world believed that I was dead. I thought perhaps that was for the best. I've lost so much in my life. I've said goodbye to so many friends. I've buried the ones closest to me. But for all that I have lost, I know that there are still people who need to be protected. So I cannot stop fighting. Not yet. Not while there are people still waiting for me. One day, I hope you'll understand. Your mother, Anna.
Dang, Blizzard. You're gonna have to see that as soon as we leave.
I know, I have. I'm so bummed we couldn't watch it here, but
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, and again, yeah, that voice actress is so good. Apparently, she was a general in Mass Effect 2, they were saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw someone in the chat mentioning that, so I was like, I'm a little lost here.
Yeah. All right. So our next guests are Pocket Watch Games. They made this adorable arcade-style real-time strategy game, Tooth and Tail. And please, oh my God, I need you to see it. It features really adorable yet fearsome rodents. So let's check out the trailer for that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's gameplay. Let's check out some of the gameplay footage from that.
And then the farms around it are the other red dots. Your commander is the red dot moving around here. An unclaimed HQ is a grey dot on the minimap, and you can see elevation through these ridges. And there you can see the enemy base. The next thing on the UI is your food count, which just goes up as you farm and goes down as you spend your food. Then you have your different units that you have brought to fight in core sets. These will always be the same. And then finally at the top left you have your commander picture and commander level. Whenever this goes up you gain plus 10 HP. They start at 10 and it goes up over time. And then this other number is your current amount of bases, which is 1, and current amount of farms, which is 6. As I add on this farm, this goes up to 7 and 8. Now, how the controls work, it's pretty basic. You use WASD on keyboard to move around. On the controller, that's your left joystick. To place any structure, you use spacebar or the A button, and you can sell it with B or control. I'm going to use one of each here. Placement currently works where you can hold down the A button or spacebar, and when you release it, you will build. This is subject to change, so this may be different as you play the game. What else is there? Currently, there are 2 ways to move your units. They will always follow your commander if you issue an order for them. You can do this by using right-click, which calls all of your units, or using a right trigger on the controller, just hold it down, and it will, if you just tap it once, it will go to the current location of the commander and set a waypoint for all your units to go to. You can hold it down and they will follow your commander around. Units will engage anything they see and start combat that way. Now, there is a way to control a single type of unit at a time. That's using the left mouse button or left trigger. The way you do it is by selecting the type of unit you want to.
As you may have heard in the chat room, there are actually animations in the game right now. I'm so sorry. We grabbed an older YouTube video. That was our bad. But I'm here with Austin and Andy. Thank you so much for coming and joining us so we can actually take a look at what the game really looks like right now.
Awesome.
So when is it coming out? Do you have a date yet?
So we don't have a date, but we are getting very, very close to done. What you'll be able to play today is like the pretty much somewhat final multiplayer aspect of the game. And as far as the single player stuff and our ranked mode, that stuff is still in development. So we'll see.
Oh.
We'll see, but soon.
Great.
Definitely, yeah, it's closer to finished than not finished.
Yes, what is...
Good.
Not as evidenced by what the video apparently just showed.
So yeah, you're gonna get a taste of what it really looks like. And thank you, Pocket Watch Games is in the chat. Thank you for joining us as well.
Progress.
Yeah. Lucas was trying to show you like a before and after.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Sort of a deal.
Yep.
Go full screen.
We're going the diet pills approach to
yes,
showing the game.
Going off.
The 1 year time lapse. That's fine. That's good.
I'm good. We want me to come up there.
We got this. We got this.
I'll fix that for you. There we
Technical
go. I got that.
Yeah, we got this.
There it is.
We'll give it to the.
Full screen.
This is really showing the process.
Yeah,
here.
so we are.
Sorry.
This is a game in development.
Right, no,
No,
everybody
this is on
knows that
our
this
end.
is on our end.
Yeah, this is
Everybody
definitely
knows. They all
us.
seen this before.
Click down there because the window's in the wrong spot.
But in the meantime, so where did the idea for this game with adorable yet fearsome critters come from?
Austin, can you tell them about it? And I'm gonna go fix the game over on the computer.
Austin, why don't you tell us about it while Andy goes
I'll do that.
and fixes things?
I'll do that as one of the members of the team most removed from having to be, to answer that basically, because I'm just the music guy. I write the music for the game. And so that felt undeserved, but
No, it was
it's
cool.
very kind.
Because I mean, we talk about music for the games a lot, and like in the last one, that
thank
was
you very much.
specifically brought up by chat.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
On what? On Overwatch?
No, on
on
Song of the Geek.
Insomniac guys.
Yeah.
Well, you're already bad. You didn't get a chance to even remotely begin.
I'm a magician. I fix things. With
We
my
also got out of him that he did all the music.
He did
So we
do
were
the
trying
music.
to-
It's mostly done.
Austin's famous. Austin did Journey. Austin did Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Holy crap!
Austin did the Banner Saga and Monaco. He's like
Monaco is
I know
good.
we're like.
Wait, really? Did you really?
He's the only composer to ever be nominated for a Grammy for a game score.
I know. I did a news report on that.
Yeah.
I did
Really?
a news
Got it.
report. I did a news report. I had a top 10 list of music
Really?
in gaming music, and Journey was on there. And I said that it was because it was one of the like top arguments for like games being art.
Yeah. And every time I see Austin, I get
That actually means a lot. It
Oh
really
my
does.
God.
It really that's
Amazing, and we.
I love that game.
Oh my goodness.
that was got very lucky on that one. That one was that's all. I mean, I don't even know what to say because it's like I remember was just talking about this the other day where right up until after 3 years of work, right up until it came out, I was like, I just will feel super stoked if people even play it, much less like it. But if just it gets noticed, that'll be awesome because especially at the time it just felt
very
so
indie.
different. It felt very it was well, it was indie, but it was not because it was a PlayStation exclusive. So it was like hiding in the realm of, it wasn't on Steam, for example. So being on only PlayStation 3 made it, easy to miss. And I just was like, I just hope someone plays it. And yeah,
And everyone loved it,
it was very surreal the moment it came out, and still 4 years later, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Still,
I think I was at the Game Awards when.
Oh, really?
When.
at
the Game Awards.
Yeah, well, it was the Spike TV
The Spike
still,
TV,
yeah.
the
Like
Spike
the video
TV
game
video
That was
awards,
actually
yeah.
the most awkward because it was on the red carpet that they did the music. It wasn't
Yeah,
in
they
the
did.
telecast. There's a few categories they did as like pre-show. No one said anything, and so I was just doing an interview, and then randomly
like,
they were like, "By the way, yeah," and I was like, Immediately my phone starts going off from all these people who are watching, going, "That was super awkward."
That's what they fixated on.
Yeah, well, I probably just was super awkward because I was ambushed, but it was like I'm being ambushed, but with an award. So this is kind of like an interesting blend of awkward and thank you.
I was there for Borderlands 2, and I remember sitting there being like, wow, I feel like they've only given out 4 awards on stage.
Right.
And then I heard about the Journey one. I was like, okay, cool, I like that one.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well,
I'll
it's-
that one.
It's really kind.
We just recently, another host from the channel and I did a charity stream to raise money for the victims from the Orlando shooting, and we played Journey for it.
Oh, wow.
Because we were like, what's a game that's like really good and happy and doesn't require shooting?
Right.
It was Journey. So, yeah. So, okay.
Oh, here's a game that requires
this
shooting
game.
and-
Tooth and tail.
Now, on the other hand, so I'm a huge fan of Redwall.
Yeah.
Is that something that you guys
Absolutely.
are fans of as well?
In fact, the person that we got to do all of our character paintings is, if you do Redwall, if you search for Redwall fan art, I sound like an old person. If you Yahoo for Redwall, you will find all of his work. He's like the guy that is all over the internet. So we were like, okay, we want to do like Redwall, but World War I. So it's like, take Redwall but get rid of all the honor and make it about like animals that all decided to eat each other. It's like the polar opposite of Zootopia. In Zootopia, no one wants to eat each other. In ours, the plot of it is that all the animals want to eat each other, and so it's a revolution over who's going to be able to eat and who is going to have to be eaten.
That's awesome.
So we got the greatest Redwall fan artist to come in and do all of our
I've
art.
definitely seen his work. I've definitely seen his work. I'm such a huge Redwall fan. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's fantastic.
so good.
So this is set in World War I. It's their World War
It's
I?
their World War I. It's sort of Russian Revolution, World War I, that era.
Yeah,
of
I think of it as
technology.
October Revolution more than World War I,
yeah.
but like early 20th century style,
right?
Like just nasty.
Oh wait,
things
hold
got
on,
dark.
hold on. Hawkseal in the chat says Zoodystopia.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get points for today. They all belong to you, Hawkseal.
Yeah.
Hawks, do a dance for us. Can you do a dance?
That's
Hawkseal's a member of our community. And
Fantastic.
He loves to do little dances.
Apparently, the chat is now predominantly fans of Tooth and Tail. So the game's not even out yet. So where did the community come from?
So our last game was a game called Monaco, and it's a game we sold around 2 million copies of Monaco. It's an indie game, but it's an indie game that has got some weird stuff in it. It's a co-op heist game. It's kind of Pac-Man crossed with Hitman. Super fun. It's like Ocean's 11, the game. Very lighthearted, but we had a little community from that, and we wanted to build a multiplayer game. So this game is what we like to describe as an arcade real-time strategy game. So it's like StarCraft meets Mario Kart. And in order to do that and make it super fun from the very beginning, we wanted to have a small private community that would play the game from the very beginning. And they've stuck with us. We have people that have stuck with us for 2 years. One of the guys in our community has over 900 hours in the game. And this is a game that's totally unfinished.
Yeah, that's like 900 hours, meaning 750 of those were like, it just crashed, or it just.
No, that's not true. It's 900 of actual play hours. Really? Dead Bones has 900 actual play hours.
Wow.
I saw Zeno Acoop up in the.
That's nuts.
We've got actually a tournament going on right now amongst our private alpha community. It's an invite-only community. But we have about 100 active daily players in the community because everyone just sticks with the game. Zeno Coop is probably our best player. He won the last tournament. Wow. We have another active tournament going on right now called July Joust, where you can go and watch replays of the games, and we do our own Twitch streaming throughout all this.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, community. Y'all are super legit, may I say. And this is your chance to ask these gentlemen pretty much anything, and we'll ask them. So throw it up in the chat there, and we'll get to your questions.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. I got a shout out. Yay.
All he had to be is the single best player.
Yeah, that's all it took.
Yeah, I just played him yesterday, and I got super salty over it. Oh, he is too good. He also found a new exploit in the game that we had to immediately change the game design in order to plug up this exploit. Yes.
Wow. And
He
yes,
says that as a guy who I've basically never beaten. He and I play it a lot, and I'd like to say I'm a pretty good loser. I'm not a sore loser.
never beaten.
Oh no, he's beaten me. He's beaten.
But it's like 10 to 1. I mean,
Right.
he's
And
I'm not bad. I'm not bad at RTSs, but it's what?
Oh, humble. Get out of here.
Oh no, it's not. It's legitimately like he knows. And it gets me suspicious if I win. I'm like, he's trying to keep my morale from crumbling. But
Three Musketeers.
honestly-
Three
Musketeers in Narnia.
That's funny.
Honestly, there's a skill to learning how to. Okay, I shouldn't say this on air because I'm giving away my secrets. But there's a skill to playing against people that you know you're gonna win, but making it look like making it seem close without making it look like you're not
I have a few
trying.
games I'm
You
like
know what
that
I mean?
oh, this
few
just got a
games
lot
where I'll be
clearer.
A friend will be like, "What's this? Can I play with you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." Yeah.
You're good at hustling?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a con job right there.
It's tough. I mean, my strategy is usually to if there's someone who at least knows kind of what they're doing, my strategy is just to do the craziest possible strategies that I wouldn't play in a normal game, and then it's like sometimes they just don't work and you lose. you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like trying to dribble behind your back 3 times, you know? Oh, dribble only behind your back.
So it just looks really spectacular when you pull it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I gotta ask though, what does your face feel like? Is that a thing in your chat?
Yeah, that is actually.
Yeah, I've seen that. A few
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I beat Dead Bones, the guy with 900 hours in the game. I beat him once
Wow.
on stream, and I asked him in a continuous fashion for the next hour or so what his face felt like. And since then, since about a year of this later, they've been asking me every time I lost how my face feels.
Chat never forgets.
No.
And I do, again, I do appreciate, thank you to all of you who are coming in here and being just absolutely lovely members and contributing members of the community. And again, we will answer any question that you ask.
I'm anxious. I want to see the game.
Yeah, okay, let's play. I'm so sorry.
I know we
Do you guys want to play, or how are we going to do this then? We could do.
We can play split screen, so we can.
Oh, there's local co-op.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
This is a real-time strategy with split screen.
All right, let's do that.
That's
I'm a little intimidated.
remarkable. Oh my God.
Do it. You're good. You're
I'm
fine.
super
You two
bad.
can play.
Okay, all right. Well,
Well, I'll
great.
help you. You help her.
Okay, that
So
sounds good.
sorry in advance.
Oh, great. Okay.
So go to split screen.
He's going to make it seem like
And go
you
two-player.
barely lost.
It's cool.
And then hit A on yours.
Okay, I'm already terrible. Oh my God! Look at these Archimedes, the quartermaster. So tell me about some of these characters. I love them.
So these are the factions in the game. It's a revolution, and this is on the left is the leader of the commoners. She's Hopper. She's chopped off her own arm in order to feed the people. So she is
So rad.
Yes, she's awesome. Belafide is the commander of the Longcoats. They're the aristocrats. They believe in a state of nature and like if you can catch him, you can live. So he's like a Teddy Roosevelt type.
Wow. Oh, hence the whiskers.
Yeah, Archimedes is like Rasputin. He's the leader of the clergy, and they have it's almost a Hunger Games-esque ritual for selecting who's going to be eaten.
Wow.
And then the quartermaster, she is the leader of the KSR. That's the secret police that uses their spy network in order to try and quell the rebellion.
Whoa.
Oh, I gotta say, Hopper's story really resonated with me. So I'm gonna stick with her faction.
Go with, quartermaster.
There you go.
I would also like to point out that I appreciate the almost even split for
Even split, yeah. And even amongst our units, what you'll find actually is that so we're just doing voice acting now. We just finished our casting call, so the voices of the animals themselves are not in the game yet, but that's all evenly split gender as well. So it's actually, the voices are incredible, and I'm super excited to get the voices out there.
That's fantastic.
So one of the cool things about this game is it's not like a traditional real-time strategy game. You get to build your own faction. So you don't just pick Protoss or Zerg or Terran. You get to actually and you don't know what your opponent is going to have. For your first match, I would probably just press the Y button. It'll give you a default army.
Oh, okay.
And that's
it's like
nice
deck
and
building,
balanced.
basically.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of like deck building, yeah. So the first thing you want to do is build a farm. So these farms, so stand on top of that green spot and press A to queue up a farm. And all of these worlds are randomly generated. So you'll want to explore the world to figure out where your opponent is.
Oh, okay.
And there's
So they're building
you see there's a map
over
top
there.
right, and the amount of food you've got right next to that.
Oh, okay.
All the management of resources and things like that is such a staple of games like StarCraft are intentionally as minimized here as possible to make it very, approachable.
I'm trying to explore all the weird little dark
The
places.
nooks and crannies. Yeah.
Because the maps are randomly generated, sometimes this super weird blind
that.
alleys
Can
and
I build?
things just appeared. Yeah, sell that. Hit B. You don't need
Okay.
that yet.
So you can hold the X button. If you hold the X
do
button,
what he's-
you'll burrow home, and that'll walk you home, and you can build more farms once you're back at your.
So how often can we
So
build
those last
farms?
3 farms.
Well, so you have I'm gonna just copy everything he's saying.
See, and then those last 2 slots.
See how you
over
have
there.
two.
And then we're gonna
yeah.
start building.
See how there's blank
Okay.
spots on the go back
Gotta
up
explore.
and
Yeah,
hit those other two
actually,
blank spots on the farm.
hit A one more time
there,
now,
that,
move up a
and
little
then the
bit
other one
and
on
hit
the
it.
opposite side of the
Okay.
Move up just a
So
little
keep-
bit and
keep
hit
going.
it. There you go. So
Yeah.
So I can just keep building farms.
Well, no, that
So
one's
that
filled,
one-
and so
Okay.
wait for him.
So I gotta go to a place.
well look at the
We're
bottom of the
supposed to
screen.
be doing.
So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you see if you hit the right stick, it's going to scroll through your unit types.
I see.
If you go back up to your farm, like you see the red line, you just left your territory. Scouting you. That was dramatic.
I'm gonna go.
So
go build more of those warrens. Hit A inside of your territory.
Same thing he's saying. Go to the right on the right stick.
Yeah, anywhere where
hit
those
it a
white
few
squares
times.
show up.
One more. One more.
And hit A.
All right, now hit A.
Move a little bit up that way. There you go.
So all right, it's going to start spawning squirrels.
Oh, squirrels.
And then try pulling your right trigger.
Go up a little bit and hit it again.
So
see when those 4 squares go down again? See when those
so if you
4?
want to attack her,
that means you can build.
I can just
That's like showing you an eligible site.
Sure.
Yeah, do it.
So just keep.
3. Yeah, stop there. And hit right one more time on the right. Build one of those.
So they're coming.
What are they?
You can also die. So you want
aerial unit, a falcon.
Oh, okay. So
I'm attacking
squirrels.
you.
So squirrels are like infantry and
what?
what? What do I do?
Pull your right trigger.
Hit the right trigger.
Okay. What do I do? What do I
And
do?
then release it, and then release the trigger.
Yeah,
that tells your army where to go and what to attack and defend.
Oh, okay.
So your squirrels
Where are
follow.
they?
There you go.
Where they go?
Now your units
So
will get
here,
rebuilt.
if you hold the trigger, they'll
follow me.
They'll follow you, but they won't attack. If you just click it once, they'll follow and then attack anything nearby.
There's a red
So if you are running and you kind of spam the trigger, they'll do like what they're doing right now.
Come over here!
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna get you!
right
with my flag.
You just try it!
Pull your right trigger. Pull your
I've got the flag of the people!
There you go.
Bring it on!
All right, now we see who's been more aggressive. Oh God, you got owned.
Oh!
I'm just
Why?
gonna
What
go ahead and
happened?
Well, I don't know.
Why were my troops not prepared? They had heart and courage.
Oh, well, actually now you've kind of.
Oh, wait,
well,
so
there's
what?
going to
So
be more
use your right
coming.
analog stick to cycle 2
Where
more
are the
times
rest
to
of
the right.
mine?
They
go
had to
back up on your
respawn
little
because
plateau.
so those warrens
Anywhere
that you
here
built
where you build
automatically spawn new units.
Yeah.
Build another one. You've got a lot of food.
It's amazing.
Okay.
So wait,
Now the thing is,
go
if you
into
look at the
kind of
farms,
empty
notice how
space
they're
up
starting
there
to
and
get
hit
like
A.
dry looking. You see how there's
So that's
kind of
gonna start
missing.
building barracks for you.
They will eventually
And then
completely
go
run
right one more
out. So you
time,
have to
and you're gonna get a
expand
badger with a minigun.
to other
So
base
use your right analog
locations
stick and build
for too
go
long,
into an empty
Okay.
space,
or you'll
and
starve to
hit-
death.
Hit A.
So where are
there,
other
up a little
farms?
bit.
Dot.
Up that way.
It's let me see.
To the right.
Where did
To
they
the
go?
right. There it is. You're good.
Oops.
Hit A there.
Okay.
All right, so those are gonna start building other
Here, go
units.
top and left. Go top and left. There's got to be one up here.
So there
And
are
also,
other,
you
God,
built
it's
a
a
new
dead end.
gristmill.
other farms?
So you can
or-
actually go start building farms at that new gristmill. That's
Oh,
gonna give
did
you
I-
more
did
food.
I-
I hear
Did I
him.
in the middle
He's
of battle,
coaching her
it's good.
on this exact thing.
Where are the other farms?
All right, go back down. Go down and then to the right.
Okay.
Like so go up the
I'm
stairs.
I'm gonna
This
keep
way?
building. Oh, I guess I should.
Go up and right. There's got to be one up
Do
there.
it right.
Oh, up and right?
Yeah, now to your direct right. Actually, wait, is that one open?
That's it. Oh, I see. I see.
Oh, here, there you go, right there.
Exactly.
Do that one.
Okay.
Give it a second. And then
All right,
build
I'm
on the
gonna
farm.
coach them both because
I
I think
see.
the stream is basically impossible to listen to with both. of them.
Yeah.
No, they have to lose. They have to lose. Ignore him. He's trying to defeat you.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, so these
So-
when you build new gristmills, your farms at your original gristmill are eventually going to go barren, and you can't get them back. So you will have to build new gristmills.
She and I already covered this.
All right. And then eventually you want to attack. Hey, Hopper, you're getting attacked. Go defend your
Oh
territory.
God, yeah, he's attacking you.
Oh,
Doing it.
what?
I've got
Where's
missile
all my
carrying.
things? Can they not?
Go up there and pull the right trigger. Pull the right trigger and
Well,
get your.
I'm stuck here.
So you have to
Stuck
go
up
down.
here.
Go
I
down
gotta
the
go
hill.
down. Okay, there it
Go
is.
down and around.
There it
You
is.
can also burrow, don't forget.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, I could have
You should be okay though. Those
Okay.
Shush.
Should be fine.
This is more of. Oh God.
Wait, there's badgers?
Yeah.
Where are badgers? How do I do badgers?
It's the fifth one. See the fifth one on your list?
Oh, I can totally build one of those. I think.
And then, if
you
you
just
want to,
wrecked
you can
her,
also
right?
use the sixth one on your list to build defenses.
Yeah,
That sixth one is the machine gun turret.
Oh, wait.
And you can
Oops,
use
I
those to
asked them
defend your
to-
territory too.
I think I can
You have to
build
wait till
a-
you have more food though,
Oh,
because you
how do
spent
I?
all your food.
Where's the badgers? Can I not build a badger
I
yet?
got anxious.
You need a lot more money.
Oh, I see.
They're like a high.
Very expensive.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Did my people do anything?
You're
How do I
good.
tell them
You're
not
in
to
good
follow me
shape.
anymore? Don't follow me anymore.
When you hit the trigger, they'll go to wherever you were when you hit it.
I'm
Okay.
ruthless.
So yeah, if you keep running, they'll
Right.
just rally
Okay,
there.
they'll just hang out.
Yep.
I want to do it.
All right, good,
Go
everybody.
find her and attack.
Wait.
Oh, you
Those
built
last
some
three
turrets?
farms.
Built some
Yeah.
turrets.
Oh,
Yeah,
where's
the,
the?
you can hit A
No,
now.
like on that thing right in
That'll
front
work.
of
I
you.
see,
If
I
you go,
see.
there's three. Yeah, exactly.
So
Hit
if she
those-
comes
those
at you
top
with
three.
that,
Yeah,
That makes sense.
just
Perfect.
juice the info.
So production is always better.
And then I'm gonna put one right there.
Ooh, is there a story mode? There's a single player campaign.
there
though.
is. Yes, we're working on it right now. It is actively in development. Go attack. Go attack.
Can I? I can hear you.
I have intel.
Oh, you
that
built
he's going to be
so you
attacking.
built another grist.
But I don't have
That's
another
where you build your farms at.
farm.
So that's
Can
when you
I,
get
should I
more
build
food.
this farm?
Here, actually, you have enough to build a badger.
Oh, okay.
Although,
Oh yeah, what badger?
Come on. Oh, you're.
Am I building a badger there?
There we go.
Okay.
Two battle.
go. Oh,
Yep, you're getting attacked.
This is about to get ugly.
Oh, come over here.
You
Oh,
took out her
my
grist mill. You
base.
took it out. Yep. I think she has a couple more, but I think you can do it now. I think you have enough to actually.
Nobody
take out
else
the
is.
rest of
I
it.
didn't build enough people. I didn't build enough troops.
I mean,
Where are
there.
all your squirrels and stuff?
Because I don't know, they're all
A
dead.
badger.
Okay, come on. Come on, badger.
Oh God, two.
I didn't, well, because I only built like 3 squirrel warrens.
I think she's got more up on the hill. If you go south, go that way towards the red tree, and then go up those stairs.
We follow her.
Go up those
Everybody
stairs.
else.
Yeah, go up those stairs.
Everybody
up.
else. Well, I didn't build it. Oh,
Yep.
there it
And then
is.
pull a trigger up there.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's a cannon. Oh no, she's a ferret.
Oh, cannon. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea where all my squirrels are. Maybe I should have built more squirrels.
For what it's
can I
worth, this is what
build
it
more
always
squirrels?
feels like when I play the game.
Oh,
You're getting an
okay.
Austin experience very authentically
Oh,
right now.
great. All right, so I built squirrels. Can I build another?
And I think your army's going to be enough to finish this off.
Wow.
Good shape.
Man, this isn't going
There's the
well.
Oh, I got a badger.
All right.
I don't want to say you shouldn't feel hope, but
Oh, man. That was brutal.
I was, for what it's worth, I was muzzled halfway through my coaching on that, and I was told to not be helpful.
Yeah,
So,
that's okay.
for what it's worth.
Oh, look at all that sweet data.
I know.
What is this?
Look,
Describe
at
this. What
one
does this
point
mean?
You
This-
were stronger than me.
Yeah, so this is the army value. This is the total amount of food in your units. So, Erica, you were at one point.
Yeah, I was player 2.
You had a bigger army than her.
Surplus. Oh,
but
I did?
But her badger came in and just wrecked.
Yeah.
But you wrecked her too.
Yeah.
Look, your
I
army,
did.
yours went way
Disappointing.
down. She must have had more food than you, and her army just.
Oh.
It's because I was accidentally building farms everywhere.
Well, it looks like when you guys actually really engaged, you were
Interesting.
dead even with each other in terms of.
There's actually a replay. Oh, can I have your controller?
yes.
There's a replay going on in the background
Oh,
right now. We can
fantastic.
actually even watch this in
Speed
like
it up. It was
hyper speed
fast. Oh my
to see
God.
what happened. And you can see actually maybe everything was decided in this first battle. We'll see. I don't know. So yeah, if you're playing online, you can actually just see what your opponent did if they
wow.
did something sneaky, and you want to know what they were doing. You know, oh, there you sent in your lizards for that first attack.
That one was strongly held off.
I feel like this has a great deal of esports potential.
I hope so. We'll see. Our philosophy is we're just going to make the game as fun as we possibly can, and if it turns into an esport, that's fantastic. That's what Nintendo did with Super Smash Bros. That they weren't trying to make an esport.
Yeah.
But it was so fun and it worked so well competitively that it became one, right? So yeah, you can see all sorts of data in here.
How cool! And I love that it was. I mean, we had your help too. I don't think if it was just us two, we would have finished it that fast. But
You would have. This is typical. So we
Really?
say that our matches are 7 to 12 minutes. Typically.
Oh, no
I love
kidding.
that.
That's fantastic.
So you can really just you don't have to feel like you're committing to a 45-minute match.
Yeah.
You can kind of just pick it up.
I have to say, for somebody like me who is terrified of strategy, that's very appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes it so it's like if you want to do something crazy one match, it's fine. You just
Yeah.
do it. And
And the game's not decided 10 minutes in, but you then don't know that until 45 minutes later. Right? Like in StarCraft, sometimes
Yeah.
you don't realize that you were doomed for the whole game.
Yeah, and then you've invested a lot of time into
Exactly.
it, and it's too late.
Yep.
Yeah, this
Yep.
one, the chance to
well,
learn.
of course, it's only 5 to 8 minutes for you, Zeno.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
The
yeah.
emoji of the finger painting, the finger.
So yeah, do you want to see Austin and I play again?
I would very much like that.
Oh, great.
Let's go, Austin.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we'll show you some different units too.
Yes.
I'm gonna play Archie. Let's go, Archie.
All right, let's see.
What have I been doing?
So you're you have to build out your loadout.
Yeah, right.
Ah, this is what that is. And I have to say, it was pretty intuitive once I realized what everything was.
Right.
Knowing how to build farms and all the basic things was pretty simple.
Xenophobia spreads too quickly.
All right, we're gonna do. Oh, this is fun. All right.
Normally, I don't know what he has. Normally not doing split screen because I'm here and he's down in San Diego.
Yeah, if you're playing online, of course you can't screen cheat.
It's actually hard to screen cheat though because the game moves so fast.
Right.
That.
So first thing I did was I built a farm and then I went and scouted to try and figure out where he is because the last thing I want is to get rushed.
When have I ever rushed you?
One
time I was like, what do moles do? And I tried and I failed.
What do moles do, Austin?
Spoiling your strategy here.
Oh, he found you.
What do moles do?
Where's his?
I'm curious. Can you tell me what moles do? Can you tell the audience what moles do?
Well, I mean, I'm by whatever your loaded question version of you asking this, I'm not sure, but they can be built on the front lines.
Oh,
and
so they can be built early on near your opponent's base.
What the hell are you?
Oh!
And
what is that?
Used to rush your opponent.
Oh, I see. You see what's
Is
going on
that
here?
what you're talking about?
Now I'm reliant entirely on my pigs. This is
Oh,
painful.
your poor farmer pigs.
This is already
Except
painful.
it was a poorly executed rush, so I think you're getting away with the one here.
It was a.
Oh, your field has gotten fallow.
It was. Look at he's a. What is this? He's dead. Look at him. This is such crap.
Developer hacks.
Yeah, seriously.
So can you play on teams then?
Yeah, you can play 2v2, and we have 3-player free-for-all, 4-player free-for-all. And
Is there
2v2.
3 versus Xeno?
Yeah, if you play 4-player free-for-all and Xeno's in the game, you better be playing 3 versus Xeno.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So another thing that I like to do are these units. They're defensive structures that I don't really want to say out loud because they're sneaky.
That would be a mine.
Yeah, they're landmines.
I already
They're
found it.
landmines. So when they are built, they can't be attacked. They can only be diffused by explosion. So he's afraid to attack me at this point.
Oh no.
I'm quaking in my boots.
Can I ask which came first? The idea that you wanted to do World War I era rodents or a real-time strategy game?
It actually started with real-time strategy, but we ended up deciding to do animals because one of the problems with real-time strategy games is they're really, really hard to get into. They're really intimidating. And we wanted to make a game where people would already sort of understand what the units did before they even started playing the game. So like a badger, is going to be strong. A fox is going to be slow.
Right, and I was like, and squirrels were clearly going to be the infantry.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And these toads are going to go in and blow up their stick of dynamite all over these squirrels. And deny them. In the meantime, I built an extra little expansion there, and I've got skunks coming on the way. So I bet you can guess what skunks do. They
Oh my
use-
gosh.
Oh, how funny. He has a little gas mask.
Yeah, he has a gas mask.
Oh my
exactly.
gosh.
So apparently I just learned
It's
something
air
new.
units. Is that what that is?
He does not. Yeah, he's got pigeons. Those are pigeon medics.
Strategy I have mixed feelings about. It doesn't always work.
Oh,
out.
they're good. They're good.
Well, I don't know. I've never had the most luck.
Yeah, but he's also got chameleons, which are stealth.
Chameleons, nice.
They you can't see them until they start attacking.
See them there.
And so you know what? I haven't really even explored. I didn't realize there's actually a back door in my base back here that I didn't even know about. Austin could have taken advantage of that, but he did not.
What the hell do you have? Oh god, I'm gonna die.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
So I got this little
okay,
sniper
there you
balloon up
go.
here.
Sniper balloon.
All of the defensive structures are operated by invisible. Well, I shouldn't even say.
Is everyone in the chat noticing the music?
Oh yeah, it's from Austin.
It's all.
guy.
I'm compelled to remind everyone that it's not finished. Fake instruments and stuff.
I see.
Austin is one of the more humble people out there. You heard him talking about Journey. He's like, oh, I got lucky.
Well, what the hell? How is that not 100% accurate?
I mean,
That's not humility. I mean, I really did genuinely they made an incredible game, and I was the guy that somehow got to be part of it. That's totally surreal to me still.
Right.
Plus, we do live. Just in New York, we have a touring show where we play the game live on stage and do the music live.
Yeah,
And
I've heard about that.
It's terrifying, but it's really fun. All right,
I was just told because at the Sony press conference, they had a live orchestra doing all of the
God of War.
music for a lot of their demos, and I was told that the way that they do it is everything's modular. Like they'll have like a certain track, and they'll say and they'll have to like skip ahead for certain parts of it.
This is already
or delay.
over.
Oh my gosh.
My attempt to.
Are you gonna take out that
A
balloon?
lot of people in the chat know a lot about music, about how it changes depending on what's happening.
Are we in this? You mean?
Yeah.
This game definitely has a. I mean, one thing that's fun about working with this guy is he really is into finding ways to make the music actually interactive and not just like loops that, like tracks that loop to me, always feel like a missed opportunity because games are so much deeper than that. And so it's like, all right, let's make the music actually really respond meaningfully. And also the music changes depending on which commander you chose. Like if we were not on split screen, I'd be hearing a completely different score from him right now.
So
We're hearing the player one version just because we had to choose, something. Oh God.
I got my fox out.
Oh no!
What does the fox
She's
say,
a
Austin?
sneaky.
The fox says
Oh, run
chameleon.
away. Actually, I'm in trouble. You actually have I think you actually have the composition to be able to beat me here.
I have
Oh
the
my
composition.
goodness.
Ooh, those chameleons. Get away from me.
Oh, I see.
He's using his
That's
chameleons to
great.
try and sneak up on my sniper fox, and like the goal with the sniper fox is just to stay out of fire because she's super glassy.
All right,
but,
that didn't work
you
at all.
can kind of kite around the enemy, and now I'm gonna counterattack.
And it's not going to go well.
Mostly, I'm gonna focus on trying to take out his farms while he's weak, so I can hurt his economy.
Yeah, see that because the thing is, when your units die, it has to re-buy them in your warrens. So if you have a stockpile of money, it just instantly vanishes, basically.
Yeah.
I think we have one dev in the chat, and the rest of it's just a really awesome community.
Oh wow!
Yes.
What the hell did you? Oh. See, okay, yeah. See, it just told me. See the top left? I just suddenly started starving because he came in and he totally wrecked my farms.
Oh no! Your farms.
No! Get out! There we go. Uh-oh. But you have an opportunity here because I have basically no air defense anymore. So, as long as you could kill my fox, you'd be in good shape. But you can't kill my fox because she's too sneaky.
These guys can't get close enough. All right, well, hopefully we can. Oh yeah, no, I'm screwed. Oh God, and my income is wrecked. I have like 1 second to try to sort this out.
Man, I really see how like bold strokes in the beginning can really lead to victory later on.
Actually, victory in this case is 52 seconds away at most.
You killed my fox. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, but I have no money to. I have to.
Oh no! Yeah, you have no farms.
Yep, you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble because I have no ability to come back without selling all my.
Oh no!
Yeah, see, my one salvation is this gristmill that he wrecked all my.
I mean, note that I have one farm.
What?
I have one farm.
Really?
You guys are pretty full.
This is a suicide run.
Ah!
And I'm gonna try and.
Hurry, damn you!
Oh, your units. Oh boy.
Okay, now I'm
Calix
starving
says
too.
they stream the games too, and currently with the
All right, now
tournament,
let's say-
we can see Captain Frog showcase some of the games and analyzing them. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh wow! I didn't expect that. My guys didn't die, and they
This
just.
could be a heroic comeback.
It is true. Someone did mention that you only scouted half your map.
What the hell? You have moles like chipping away.
Uh-huh.
Did you kill my guys? Oh yeah, you did.
Oh, there's all the moles.
All right, I just have to survive for 31 seconds because I have absolutely nothing I can do. I mean, I could sell all this. Oh.
Wait, where's your farm? You have a farm left? You do have a farm left.
Well,
Destroy
I've started
it.
building another one. I sold my stuff, but
But you don't have
This is
anybody
such a
to
like
build
knockdown,
another one.
drag out,
I know.
inelegant.
Oh my gosh.
Starving.
Build a farm, it says.
Oh, he just built one, so it just reset the clock.
Oh boy.
This is a long match.
Yeah, I know. Normally he's killed me long ago.
I have nothing. I have nothing, Austin.
Oh,
Do you see what you've done to me?
Your damn,
Do you see
except
what
your
you've done to me?
I wish you could
Oh.
smack him with your
Oh, it's
little
done.
flag.
Now it's done.
Oh, that's a good strategy.
Because I'm starving
advancing.
and I don't.
Oh, you can't even build. You don't have anything. You sell that stuff. Go build a new farm.
This is the most like Zeno's watching right now, going, I don't know these people.
Everybody's saying to sell things.
Yeah, well now, yeah, this is.
I didn't know you could, so you can sell things that are no longer useful.
And you do get. Oh, great.
Oh no!
I see what's happening here. When you sell, you get the full value back, but see now in exchange for my full value, I get no units. So
now you're really dead.
Yeah.
You may as well concede.
Never. There's no surrender. We go down. You will pick over my dead body. You won't meet with a white flag.
Oh, you have another one over there. You were such a jerk.
Yay,
That's right. Me and
look at
that
your
one
pig.
farm.
You and your pig.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, and here it goes.
Hey guys, shoot at me.
Oh boy. Oh,
Now you're
there
starving.
he goes.
Normally, these matches don't end with a whimper. They usually end with a bang, but this one is ending with a whimper. Because I am down to 4 moles chipping away at his HQs. There goes one.
Oh
no.
There it
There's
is.
the other.
Oh, you're building a new one.
Doesn't know about that.
I mean, I guess you're good about not screen shooting, huh?
Yeah. Oh god, see, yeah, the moles are.
Question is whether or not those will kill that before his is finished. His new one is finished.
So can you do?
We have a member of our community named Massistel that makes sure that it's annoying for you to win.
I'm pulling Massistel
Even when he's
moves right now.
losing, and we call it pulling a Massistel.
Yeah. I'm proud to say I did something in honor of Massistel there
Go
right now.
Bulls!
Now I really am done.
And that's why you guys have such a strong community is because you invest in them as well.
Oh yeah.
You know your community. You know them by name. You address them. You play with them. Like
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. We love these people. Calix Jumi is another community member of ours, Hoxiel, of course. On that list, those two guys are daily players of the game.
That's fantastic.
And
game.
yeah, it's
yeah.
a blast.
Green, purple.
I love that though.
Can you
when
break
the-
this down for us a little bit about? Do you remember where some of the moves were?
Yeah, sure.
For this?
So you can see very, very early on, purple. I got 2 moles to do that mole rush at the very, very beginning.
Yes.
Right.
I had literally nothing.
He had literally nothing. But then he builds a scroll warren. He builds a couple of scroll warrens, and he starts to build up this army. I, on the other hand, and so that starts to step upwards with green, right?
Yeah.
Then he tries to attack. But in the meantime, I built a toad warren. So I built toads, and the toads went in and blew up. So I lost my toads, but he lost his squirrels, right? So then he starts building a bunch of squirrels and a bunch of falcons. And that's where it started to become a problem for me, because I didn't have any sort of anti-air. My only anti-air was the balloon snipers and the fox. And
Which obviously made
so
a
he's-
difference because see how I way outnumbered him right at 7 minutes.
Yeah, or at the 4-minute mark. At the 4-minute mark, purple drops way off. And that's because he's got falcons, and I had no anti-air. So if we hide the graph and we go to the 4-minute mark on the replay, what you'll see, you're going to see this like huge battle where purple loses basically everything,
which is you.
And that's whenever you said, "Oh, you probably have it here. This is."
Yeah, right. And then it turned into, and here comes that first. Here's where the toads explode, and we both basically lose our entire army.
Oh!
So that was that 2-minute trade right there, and then. So then I built these skunks which can't hit air, and I've got toads which can't hit air, and I've got landmines which don't hit air. And I tried to build, I got a balloon that's starting to build right there, but in the meantime, he's building he's building pigeons. And
Yeah, pigeons
squirrels.
didn't help me very much in this. Sometimes they
And
end
then-
up being the
you know what?
deciding.
It wasn't falcons. It was chameleons that actually did it for you. So my units were all focused on attacking your HQ there, and between your squirrels, pigeons, and chameleons, you took out my entire army. And then you got your first falcon up as well. So
Yeah.
this is the point where I got these balloon turrets up, and it looked like maybe I was going to be able to prevent you from ever even approaching me. But since your falcons could fly right over those landmines, you can see all those landmines in front of the balloons. Since your falcons flew right over them, they just ignore the landmines. You're able to come take them down right in this battle here. So the landmines go off and take out all those squirrels, but then the falcons punched through and took out the balloon snipers. So that was
around 5 minutes.
You can sports
It's
cast it.
crazy
This
seeing the
becomes an
drop
this
of that
becomes an
drastic
e-sport.
drop
Sports
off.
cast in your own game.
His and another member of the team, Andy Wynn, is amazing at sports commentary of the game because he's got a really good real-time analysis, eye for what's happening.
He's the co-designer of the game and producer on the team as well. So he's
And in the chat.
and in the chat. Yes,
Right.
I think
He's Pocket Watch Games
is,
in there?
yeah, Pocket Watch.
Oh,
is
nice.
Andy. Hi, Dancing. Dancing is another guy from our community. I believe I know Grumpy Gamer as well. David Guy, I think, is another. member of
Yeah,
our
and there's
community.
a Discord chat for the community, right? And that's being put up there in the chat right now, I believe. Hang on a sec.
This was my high moment I saw, by the way. On the graph, this is where my army massively dominated yours.
Yeah,
Yet
thank you,
some-
I am dancing.
But the fox was literally the single unit that you had. It just killed everything.
Sniper Fox?
Yep, there she is, Kasha. Kasha the farmhand.
Oh, she's amazing.
Oh, really? What's her story?
She's well, I can tell you. There's this. If we go out to the Warrens here, you can see all of the stories of the units.
Oh, fantastic.
So
Wait,
so
go back
Kasha-
to the boar really fast, just because. Look at this. It's a flamethrower boar. It's just. I don't know. I have all this art on my wall. but-
So Kasha, she spent her summers sitting on the roof picking off rustlers and interlopers. She hates the city and is happy to be back at home in the countryside.
I love it.
Uncle Butter, before the war, he was known as the country's greatest gourmand. Uncle Butter still cooks his meat, but he no longer kills his prey first.
Oh.
So the badger, her
God.
inmate 43B, her entire family was locked up under the pretense of criminal insanity. While in prison, said affliction became a reality.
Oh, so brutal.
It's.
I like the owl. She pukes up mouse paratroopers. The
Oh.
outlaw and the wretches. So
It's actually a brutal unit if you can get it.
yeah. And the wolf is Drill Sergeant Volkov. He howls to inspire his army to great strength.
Oh, that's fantastic. I like his little bumblebee flask. Oh my goodness. All these characters have such rich stories. They're so cool.
Cute.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, and Adam DeGrandis, I should note, is the pixel artist of the game and the designer, the graphic designer as well. So Adam DeGrandis and Jerome Jacinto are the two artists responsible for it. And Power Up Audio, maybe best known for Darkest Dungeon, Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Right, I know some folks over there. Yeah,
they're
they
doing-
won for Crypt of the Necrodancer
Yep.
this past year at the
well deservedly.
We're doing this really cool thing with the voices where it's in The Sims they speak Simlish,
Yes.
where it's like it sounds like English but it's not.
Yeah.
We're doing something similar except it's with Russian. We're using Russian sounds and translating English into a fake language that kind of sounds like Russian. So all of these animals, like the Distillery Brothers, the squirrels are these drunken squirrels that are going to be speaking in like a Russian fake language as you're
Rushlish.
fighting. We call it Rushlish.
Interesting. Actually,
while they're
Natsat
fighting.
from Clockwork Orange. I know that's sort of a similar thing. Where
Similar.
it's like a mashup of Russian and English.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, all of the animals are will be speaking in this gibberish language as you're fighting and saluting you as you walk past.
Oh,
That's
and
amazing.
yelling as they charge into battle. It's a much more of we think of this as a much more messy war than a StarCraft war. You know, this is World War I.
This is no honor and glory.
Yeah.
This is the kind of war that they make Geneva Conventions about.
Exactly. Yes. To ban these guys.
To ban everything that's happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is wow. This is fantastic.
And of course, I have in the music, like drunken singing, like tavern rushlish voices. And this, which is a blast. The first time I tried it was with these Australian guys called Tripod, who are these amazing. They're like a Flight of the Conchords-y type band, except they're their own animal for sure. But they're brilliant. And I worked with them on Assassin's Creed and other things. And they were visiting LA, and I was like, hey, I have this thing. I'm working on this game, and this was like well over a year ago. And I just I just got them to like be drunk Russian pirates basically and put a microphone on and played it for him, and it was like, holy crap, what is this? And yeah, it pretty much set the tone. So yeah, that'll be even more in here as well soon by the time we're done. So it's Rushless has been a good discovery. A lot of that's Power Up too, of like really doing the heavy lifting on
Power
that
Up
too.
invented the whole language.
Yeah,
so
it's
they're
pretty awesome.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's what's cool. Yeah, we're gonna save some secrets here. We're gonna save some secrets.
Will there be other maps as well?
So all of these maps are actually randomly generated, so you will never play the same map twice.
I didn't
In
even
addition to
notice
that,
that.
there's single player, which is in development, so it's locked right now. But those also contain basically hand-authored or elements as well.
Although there are like environmental like it'll be raining sometimes, or it'll be dark like night, things like that.
Yeah, there's
So-
lots of environmental changes.
Yeah,
as
so
well,
it's they don't always look like this
Exactly
kind of
the same,
autumn
right.
sort of look, even though they're random.
Oh, that's fantastic. It seems like there's so many dynamic aspects to this game that you wouldn't normally get from just an indie game like this.
I think it's like that's what makes it so that we have people with 900 hours in the game, that you can't solve it. That the whole philosophy behind the game is that we want to reward improvisation and creativity over practicing a build order or over having perfect micro.
Yeah.
Or memorizing.
Or
map.
memorizing the map, exactly. So everything about the game is to encourage players who do the unexpected. And so that's why we have you can design your army beforehand, and when you go into battle, you don't know what the opposing army is going to be composed of. So you have to react to them, and you have to explore the map, because you might have a back door into your base this time, or you might have a single choke right outside the front of your base that you know that, oh, it's going to be easy to defend my base. But then, what if the opponent builds turrets right in front of that choke and doesn't let me out? And so it's so you have
As
to.
a side note, every time I've beaten him, pretty much that's why, because the map screwed him, and I managed to discover that and exploit it. So it's kind of like, good game, you got lucky, but
The strategy on the fly seems to be the focus for this.
And we really like the idea of like even if that means that sometimes it doesn't feel fair, it actually makes it more fun, because sometimes it's more fun.
Unexpected.
Yeah, it's more fun sometimes to play with pocket aces, than always having a jack and a 10. If
that's how war is. It's unexpected.
Right, exactly.
There's a thing. Someone asked, is this console only?
This is actually being played on PC right now. You can play on keyboard mouse. It's great on keyboard mouse. You can also play on controllers. And we don't have news yet about consoles, but perhaps. So.
Perhaps.
PC, Mac, Linux at the moment.
Interesting. Yeah. It seemed like it was very intuitive on the controller, and I know a lot of people, just swear that RTSs are just keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, so one of the things that we did was that we decided that if you want to make an RTS on a controller, you can't just port the controls. You have to rebuild the whole game concept around playing it on a controller. So that's why you have the commander.
Organic.
Yeah, that's why you have the commander to control rather than drag selecting your units. And that's why the units build automatically rather than having to scroll the camera back to your base in order to select the barracks to build more units.
I enjoyed that. The fact you just walk around a little bit, press right trigger, and then more troops were coming to help you.
Yeah, as someone who just can't get into RTSs as much, as it was very elegant, and I enjoyed playing it very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
A lot of fun.
So thank you. Where can they find you?
So you can come to toothandtailgame.com, and you should definitely subscribe to us on or follow us on Twitter at PocketWatchG. Come check out our Twitch channel. We stream regularly at twitch.tv/PocketWatch, and subscribe to us there, and then. And then drop by our Discord channel at pocketwatchgames.com/chat and say hi to our community. It's a very active, friendly community.
Yeah, they've been so much fun. I love having them in here.
Yeah, thank you. You all been fantastic. I can't tell you how much I appreciate a community coming in here and just being absolutely lovely.
Thank you. All right, thank you, community.
Yeah, they're a good crew. Yeah. Some of them are really freakishly good at this. So.
So that was the very first episode of Game Engine. Thank you so much for joining us for this. Yeah. Thank you so much to Brittany for being our
Thank you. I had so much fun.
Special guest host. Thank you. Where can they find you, Brittany?
You can find me on Twitter at Brittany Johnson. You can spell it BRITANI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, stay tuned for concession stand, and I'll see you all. Next week we're gonna. I think. Can we announce this, Lucas?
Yeah, we'll be at Comic-Con.
Okay, we're gonna be at Comic-Con next week.
Comic-Con!
So we'll be here Monday and Tuesday, and then I will see you for Game Engine the week after. Bye, everybody. Thank you.